44 shit, you know what I mean? Busy man. Look, when that shit drop, you step all the way on their neck, step on their neck and they head with that shit.
Fine then, I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the mud, straight to glory. They don't know how I did it, nice, but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride, but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. They mad, up to solid, circle tight, yeah, vacuum seal. No, they want my life, I ain't worried, I got right for it. I got real soldiers, kill for me, nigga, watch yourself. They say you in beast mode lately, you is not self. When you dropping that fire, precious marriage, they inquiring. They can't stop what's coming, but I see it conspiring. The line, the firing, this bitch here, finna break the spin. No kindness, I don't trust you, circle small. You can keep your features, niggas don't keep no scars. And it feel like Jeepers Creepers, say they want some smoke, dog. So I brought these chimney sweeps, coming like we coming, you can't even count. These niggas don't run it like we running, bitch, don't even start. Bitch, I'm with my niggas till the end, till them do us part. If you wanna leave, you can leave, bitch, bless your heart. Fine then, I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the mud, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel. He nice, but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride, but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. Oh, I got a man, circle tight, yeah, back and seal. I heard they want my life, I ain't worried, I got right for real. Take over in effect, yeah, I'm fully focused. You might not see it on me, just know it's women, that bitch fully loaded. Ooh, yeah, we up and rolling. Told them I need major motion. Think I'm joking, I'ma school them niggas like they baby Jody. Got it out the dust, now I'm too clean, don't know why they hate me. What you want out life, dog? Guns and butter, baby boy. UPK top, dog. Certified road runner. I'ma turn that eco-line into a damn tank. I got choppers stashed in that attic like they Anne Frank. They had that shit on lock until I snapped on them like bolt cutters. You cannot play both sides, gotta choose your colors. See I'm throwing that one up with that W, that's my blood, bro. Fine then, I ain't show no mercy, I'm gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the dust, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel. He nice, but he don't show the skills, how I show the skills. He ride, but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. Ooh, I got a made, circle tight, yeah, back and seal. Say they want my life, I ain't worried, I got right for real.
Sure. Toot
Don't let your strongest muscle be in your goddamn them Twitter fingers, nigga.
online that gangster.
Boss that nigga, man. Put your shit together, man. I'm overrated. So overrated. Overrated. So overrated, nigga. Coming on this bitch real fresh, bulletproof, high shoe, bitch, you better wear your vest. She try to get something off her chest, but the drip on her head made a mess. I'm a real piece of profit on this one, but nighttime sheet, I'm a beast. I'm like, here, eat it up, baby, eat it. Here, eat it up, baby, eat. I walk with my pole like a pimp in the state that I got up a ton. I walk around with a lot of blaze, I lit a rip on it, yeah. Tonight it's a ride, I got a show, live show, and the nigga still indie. Hey, UPK niggas winning, UPK niggas gifted. Hey, I had a little money, but I lost a little money for that punk ass job. Now I'm getting paid off passion, so it's only right that I stunt. All the nigga wanna hate, frustrates on the face, boy, love wasting time. I don't hate being around broke minds, I motivate their ass in their grind. And that's a real ass leader, real ass nigga, 2G short in the flesh. And I'ma eat my plate so good, I'ma let a little bit while the dish. And I'ma beat down your block so rich, top off, you'll feel that leg. I went to another bitch house, cause that bitch ain't clean up the kitchen. And I ain't saying no names, give a goddamn shit, let that motherfucker learn. I left my phone unlocked, woke up, bitch, had a damn chalkboard in front. Wanna know who is this, who the fuck is that, bitch, I ain't telling no business. And I bought another motherfucking chopper, and that bitch came with some haters, but hey, I'm overrated, pass overrated. I'm overrated, pass overrated, nigga. I'm overrated, Pass overrated. Yeah, I'm overrated. Pass overrated, nigga. I pass overrated. My money coming steady. I'ma rock out my good talk. Hey, the women looking good. Got them white girls. I was trying to see who got good talk. South Carolina, where them 5 thick women, they better know how to cook up. Hey, never take the bitch from scratch. That'll keep a nigga, yeah, on stop. I be in Atlanta with the hitters. Zone 6 rockin' with a nigga. Had a nigga walk up to a G, but couldn't get past my security. Yeah, I go out, that's my dog already, and the priest too official. Niggas in the world traumatized, tryna buy a trip off a nigga. But we keep the shows coming, keep these hoes running hill for a change, they'll fly. But I gotta keep my fly slide on me, cause these knack bitches lying. I'm in North Carolina doing red bitch shit, I been got new ties. If you ain't round broke, boy, you tired. But me and my niggas, yeah, pass overrated, pass overrated. Overrated, pass overrated, nigga. Pass overrated, pass overrated, overrated, pass overrated, nigga.
That's the Pass Overrated, man, mixtape. EP, whatever you wanna call it. I'm beating y'all more. Y'all run this shit up, man. Do this shit for the Lord, man. Pass Overrated, man. Shit. UBK, South Carolina, man. Shout to G. Come on, I see you, nigga. Come.
Yeah. Cold shit. I ain't come with goons, but I'm well connected. Walk in the room and pop, 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 like you got rejected. Let me see if you qualify or not. Spinning up in a tinted truck, riding around your block. Busy man. I get a word, yeah, this shit from top to bottom like a motherfucking ceiling fan. Hopping out the rental van, on my way to LAX. Brothers out in Cali and they killers out of every set. But I ain't crippin' on no blood. One West, all my niggas got it out the mud. Put your face on a t-shirt, memory of niggas acting tough in them songs, that's the drugs. I don't need no cases, all my pistols clean. So now I weigh my options, used to use the triple beam. Used to get the wop, mix it with the nicotine. Now I travel state to state and put on for my team.
The fuck wrong with them? Ain't on my level, I should let my dog get them. I see niggas and they feelings, I don't feel them. Keep the Glockin' with me, it was like a ball with it. Me at the end, I gotta stay patient. They hate me, Lord, I gotta stay dangerous. You one of them? Yeah. What's the problem? I'm one West, go to war with everybody. Cut the grass for the snake, fuck the gossip. Front line with them soldiers, that's my posture. Gun drawn, trying to curse an imposter. Shit get out the pocket, go to war with everybody, yeah. Shit that hate, make it to the featherweights. Niggas claim they hard, but they sweeter than a dedication. Hold on, think it's time to introduce. I'm a man and a beast and a step and a rope. Hold on, and a G and a soldier and a mover. Hold on, and a killer and a prophet and a shooter, nigga. Trying to stay humble, my shit crazy. Cold leader, need the blue stripe, no brick baby. Can't be serious, you a funny boy, young fly. Look wrong, must be a dummy, I ain't gunshot. Fuck that little bitch, she a hook. Nigga swear he the go, bring him to the bush. The fuck wrong with him? Ain't on my level, I should let my dog get him. Niggas in their feelings, I don't feel them. Kid the Glocky with me, it was like a ball with him. Yeah, at the end, gotta stay patient. They hate me, Lord, I gotta stay patient. You one of them? Yeah. What's the problem? From one West, go to war with everybody.
I'm from Philly, it get hot, you catch a cold case. I'm one West, these brothers trying to set my soul straight. They done turned me to a prophet from a demon, and I'm locked in this shit and I ain't leaving. Never. Ski mask transform to war mode like I'm Voltron. Stamp on my head and my chest from the most high. Put something tight around your neck like a bow tie. Got my niggas waiting charged up like they phone died.
Red letter, drip clean, it looks so fly. Claim he riding, that's why I left his ass roads out. He gon' die. Skyscraper to a nosedive. 9mm plus P, fuck a 4-5. The fuck wrong with him? Ain't on my level, I should let my dog get him. I see niggas and they feelings, I don't feel them. Keep the Glocky with me, it was like a ball with it. Be at the end, I gotta stay patient. They hate me, Lord, I gotta stay dangerous. You one of them? Yeah. What's the problem? I'm one West, go to war with everybody.
Like Smart. Pando, kill the beat.
I don't know who, somebody need to hear this. Y'all speak Hebrew, that's Yiddish. How the fuck you try to label us anti-Semitic? We the Israelites, blacks, native Hispanics. The Germans get locked up for the Holocaust. Meanwhile, black people still up in the Holocaust. 100 million of us died in the transatlantic. 6 million died. Y'all want the world to never forget it. You can never be a Jew. You a Ashkenaz. This ain't a star dum-dum. A gun that would die. Yeah, Yeezy told the truth and got ostracized. Not one person in the Bible had on a yarmulke. We were slaves in America like we was in Egypt. Y'all don't even fit the curses in the Torah either. Y'all was blind to the truth. I had to make it clear how Jerusalem, your land, your people came from Europe. That was 1947. Your menorah got 9 sticks. It's really only 7. Yeah, it's us against the world. Armageddon. This what happened when you inherit lies from your ancestors. Y'all the synagogue of Satan with them black hats. Your whole nation sitting ducks, Aflacs, bunch of thieves and culture vultures. Ain't nothing kosher. To tell the truth, you vagabonds don't have a culture. Macedonia, Alexander and Philip, you a convert, so tell me, how the fuck is you Israel? That don't make you the people just cause you litter. Why my people can't hate your people like y'all hate Hitler? All the prophets was black and was called nigga. Y'all don't even fit the description that's in the scriptures. Abraham, all the way down to Jacob, we the real Jews. Y'all don't study Christ, y'all follow the Talmud. Keep it real, yeah, let's keep it real. Cold hard truth, it give you chills. Say y'all Jewish cause y'all ain't really them. About to do them like Hammond, it's the Feast of Purim. UPK undefeated, this an easy win. We was born fighting, y'all the evil twin. Jacob took hold of his heel, then out came his little red bastard and kosher deals. It's only 12 tribes, y'all trying to make it 13. Esau despised his birthright, the Lord cursed him. You ain't the devil, who is? I'm still searching. Ask your rabbi why he get them babies herpes. I don't know what's worse, that or you claiming that you a Maccabee. I'm about to cancel, everybody try to cancel ye. I ain't afraid to speak, that's what I do. They riding to the core, I'm just judging them by their fruit. Cause they ain't suffering curses. If I was carnal, I promise I'll punch you in person. I know this an uncomfortable subject. They making millions off our culture and black people suffering from it. Yeah, they don't believe in Christ. They the Antichrist. Make a living off of niggas. They're a parasite. I ain't afraid to tell the truth. Niggas terrified. I'm about to go DEFCON 4. I ain't satisfied.
That is proof. That is absolute proof that they know we are the real Jews. That's absolute proof. Now you got the records. Go find me a white Jew on any archaeology in Egypt anywhere. You will never find a piece of archaeology with white people as slaves in Egypt. So don't tell me that they were slaves and it's their identity, and they know it. And I know the blasphemy of them, but they are too. The Lord knows the blasphemy of you so-called white people that say you are Jews and you are not Jews. You are not the people of the law. You are not God's chosen people. God's chosen people are living in the ghettos of America. God's chosen people are in poverty and depression in the streets of America. God's chosen people are walking around in America with no identity. That's where God's chosen people are.
Hear the hunger in my voice. They used to tell me to speak up. The problem was of what I was saying. They couldn't keep up. Instead of around with some patience, they tried to speed up. It got colder than a bitter bitch. Found me a way to heat up. What's a favor for a favor if we all didn't make it? Kept it 100 with everybody, but they just won't change. I ain't get caught up in the hype, cause I ain't feel like I made it. Couldn't picture me here now, but here's your moment to frame. And I ain't never understand that self-entitlement spirit. I felt your vibe, I don't wanna get near it. Before I made the appearance, I took a second to look in the mirror. This God, Lord, the only thing that I fear. Y'all got me fucked up. It's all passion, it's tradition, it ain't fashion. It's no action. They make threats and it's still passive. I think massive, no response, that's still tact. Y'all should quit rapping. Cheap shots, I'm cinematic. I ain't average, I'm an overdose fanatic. How I go, you lose and win like asthmatics. Shot first, that's automatic. I'm the best in my division. In the ghetto like the pigeons, in the hood like the engine. You a bull for that chicken. I don't fake split decisions cause my mind made up, nigga. We in the end of time, but my time ain't up. Now when I was young and running wild and wide-eyed like a cabbage patch, I had to get it as vivid, adapted to my habitat. It's certain shit I won't do. Certain shit you can't prove. My shit sound like a payday, like more when the $5 for every dollar you counted, I would be broke. Watch it be close, got a better chance. Boxing the go, and they know I'm raw, and they know the squad, and I'm feeling lost, still in charge. I don't make them follow, I follow the law. Standing tall like they on Mars. I just got a call from my bro. He behind the wall, told me let it off. Niggas lying for some cat, I got a different line in me. Everybody intimidated, I got that guy in me. You can focus on them dimes, I'd rather keep my nine with me. Help me get this off the ground, just know you won't fly with me.
Nigga, I try to make the news. I ain't playing by the rules. I've been trying to play it cool, but that ain't gonna be the lesson. Y'all out here looking like fools. Home truth, I ain't never had to choose.
I'm trying to get beamed up, man. Y'all trying to make the news. I ain't playing by the rules. I've been trying to play it cool, but that ain't gonna pay the bill. Y'all out here looking like fools. Home of the truth, y'all ain't never had to choose. Trying to get beamed up, man. Y'all trying to make the news. I ain't playing by the rules. I've been trying to play it cool, but that ain't gonna pay the bill. Y'all out here looking like fools. Home of the truth, y'all ain't never had to choose. Trying to get beamed up.
All right, this is Rudy Speech, man. We got Captain Taiwan in the building. Yeah. So, Cap, man, let us know where you from.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all having me, man, on Rudy Speech, man. I'll break it down right quick.
Don't forget it. One West in my brain, one West in my heart, one West when I finish, one West when I start. Big shine. Big glow, I be gone till November, let my bitch know. I'm back by the window, bubbling like Crisco. I need my pockets all swollen like a lymph node. Talking out the side of your neck, get you a slit throat. I stay broke, don't care if I got a million. Looking down on me, I put your brains on the ceiling. Fuck kicking down the door, we bout to demo the building. Fake cats all in these groups, I wonder who ya. Shoot ya off your pulpit, hallelujah. 4-pound gun youngin' down like it's a cougar. On my feet, combat boots, or is it Puma? Words spreading around about me. Of it rumor, all truth, very big facts, very large caliber on very small gaps, compact pistols, ladders, and all that. About to throw the switch in the Nina for rapid fire. Got the 5.7 equipped with the magnifier. Boom shakalaka equipped with the rim rocker. We ain't really got beef, yeah, Ramak with a bin shot ya. The best rhymer since Pac and Big Papa. Big llama, big juice, I'm Big Jamba. Quarter take the gas, I ride like a big timer. No informer, no sweat, not in China. My conglomerate wreck like King Kong. No Asian pun me, no chink in armor. Remain calm through our pain that bring drama. Stay focused on things that bring karma. Took all pressure, applied and made diamonds. Stayed true, kept shit pure, my name honored. Paid all dues and debts and kept promise. Make sure you show respect, pay homage. That I'm one West bred, one West vetted, one West pumping through my blood, don't forget it. One West in my brain, one West in my heart, one West when I'm finished, one West when I start. I said I've been one West bred, one West vetted, one West pumping through my blood, don't forget it. One West in my brain, one West in my heart, one West when I'm finished, one West when I start. I'm the hottest on the market, don't make me start it. I'ma pull up in a Spider-Man and Peter Parker. I remember days was trapping out the apartment. Now one West will put me up in a starship. About to fly the friendly skies in this bitch. Spit the truth on the corners, I lie a little bit. I'm a stand-up nigga, I die before I switch. Down, no we up, I'm cool with who I with. I'ma be war the king and stay dangerous. Hold down the biz and fam, remain blameless. Now rappers drippy with styles we made famous. First with studs and spikes in any city. Designers charge a stack for shit that can't fit me. Had fringes on my coat tail way before Jimmy. Funny how the general ain't even see a penny. Better show respect, get smoked like a chimney. Keep my name out your mouth, don't even think it. Send a real Smith at y'all, no Jada Pinkett. Both ball heads, my grain of $150. Lost my man to the game, that pain that stuck with me. Had to find a cheat code to the street though. Cause niggas getting fouled, shooting like a free throw. Keep acid. Me no, and a nigga be the nicest with a mean flow. Try to ride my wave, you gon' need a speedboat. I'm hot like 100 degrees in a peacoat. Scarf in the sweater, I embark every letter. It's UPK, not a part, but together. Homie, I've been one West bred, one West vetted, one West pumping through my blood, don't forget it. One West in my brain, one West in my heart, one West when I'm finished, one West when I start. One West bred, one West vetted, one West pumping through my blood, don't forget it. One West in my brain, one West in my heart, one West when I'm finished, one West.
Allah Punya. Barak. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah Brakatah.
Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah Brakatah. What's going on, warriors? Good to see you. Bienvenido. Mi nombre es General Mahayaman. Estoy al servicio de el General Yohana. Gracias por sintonizarse en la clase. Gracias por sintonizarse esta noche. Good to see you tonight, Akim. We ready to rock headquarters?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Can you hear me okay, sir?
I hear you perfectly.
Most High in Christ. So far, we got Pittsburgh with us and more zones soon to join us.
Hold up, Pittsburgh. Good to see you, warrior. Give Pittsburgh a hand. I see you, warrior. Good to see you.
We got a question in the comments, sir, if you don't mind.
Get it on. Let's get it on.
Tribe of Issachar asks, if I may, General Mahayaman, with your grace, any scripture for being mentally strong to destroy the evil spirits of fear and nervousness? Pray for me that I should overcome everything in Yahweh Shai.
Most High in Christ, I will, warrior. I absolutely will. And you will do your part. See, because that's the big thing about spiritual demons that affect you in your life, brother. There are people that have to come together with you to pray. The Bible says, if there be any sick among you, let him come before the elders. They will lay hands on him, and with the power of prayer, they will heal the afflicted. That's part of it. Also, the Bible says that if any has a demon, some come out, not without fasting and prayer. You're going to have to do your part. You're going to have to pray. You're going to have to go on a fast. I will pray. I will go on a fast. Your brothers and sisters will pray. They will go on a fast, and we will fight together, brother. The Bible says that true love casts away fear. We'll love each other, brother. And because we love each other, our enemies will fall both inwardly and outwardly. The demons and the enemies that fight you inside every day, they will flee at the name of the Most High God, just as well as the enemies that are fighting our brothers and sisters in the street every day. ICE is going to flee too. Donald Trump is going to flee too. The enemies of this world will flee, and the enemies in here will flee as well. So I'll give you a few precepts, all right? You want those ones I just quoted about fasting and prayer? You can tell them where those are. And about laying hands on the afflicted or the sick. You can give him that one, and you can give me, he that controlleth his spirit is better than he that taketh city. When you get that, that should be a good place to start. All right?
Come on.
The brothers will give it to you when they find it, all right? Anything else?
You said Matthew 16? No, okay, Proverbs. It's like, so we got Proverbs 16 and 32.
Mm-hmm. What does that say?
Proverbs chapter 16, verse 32. He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh a city.
That's one West, brother. He that controlleth his spirit is better than the mighty. He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty. So many times in Black and Hispanic culture, we believe it's a good thing to lose control. We believe it's masculine to lose control, when in actuality, it is not. If there's someone out there, or if you're the kind of person that loses control, that drinks too much, and now you argue and fight in bars, where you get angry, over a traffic, incident or a road rage incident, or you're someone who has very little patience with your wife and children, you have a weakness. You're not strong. It's not strong to lose your anger. It's effeminate and weak to lose your anger. So if you have a personal problem, start there. Start with controlling yourself with the small everyday things in life. Start there. You have a drug issue, you can't stop smoking. Well, focus your mind on stopping a small thing. Go on a fast and give up water for a day. Go on a fast and give up food for 2 days. You'll develop the strength to give up cigarettes, to give up alcoholism. Start somewhere. Well, start with your anger. If you're someone that loses your temper, you are weak. If you're someone that is slow to anger, you are strong. Read the next part.
Salaki, sir.
I believe you said, and he that controlleth his spirit is greater than he that taketh a city, correct?
Con, sir. And he that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh a city.
Yeah, and someone that can rule their spirit. That's the key. That is the key to so many personal problems. That is the essence of demonic possession. The essence of it is I don't control myself. Once again, think about the brother's question. You know, I have things, in essence, he's doing things that he doesn't want to do. He wants to stop, but he's doing them, but he doesn't want to do them. That has been all of us in times past. All of us doing things that we do not want to do, doing things that we hate doing. And many times we cannot do the thing that we want to do. So many of us want to come to class more, want to get involved in the work of the Lord more, want to go to college, want to go to school, want to do 1,000 things, but we don't do the things that we want to do, but we do everything that we do not want to do. What does that mean? There's someone else in charge of your decisions. Someone else chooses what you do. Well, where should we start? Control your own spirit. You're going to focus on yourself and you're going to do the things that you want to do. And you're not going to do the things that you don't want to do. That's your goal. Because if you can do that, then you'll be greater than a man that can take a city. Imagine them down there right now in Iran trying to control cities and bombing cities to control them. None of them can control their anger. None of them can stop snorting cocaine. None of them can stop molesting children. They can't, and that's why their exploits fail every time, because the people that want to control the world can't control themselves. Well, Jesus Christ is putting men in charge that will control the world because they can control themselves. And you're going to start there. Everyone understands.
Con. The brother said, Con, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Wherever you are.
Con, sir. Another question in the comments. Addy P213 asks, Salaki, sir, I would like to know the meaning of 1 Corinthians 14:35. Does that mean if a wife can't learn from her husband, she does not deserve a name?
Let's hear it.
1 Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 35. And if they will learn anything, let them ask their husbands at home, for it is a shame for women to speak in the church.
Okay, it's not quite as your proposed synopsis of what this means. It's not quite that simple. Why? Because there are women whose husband is in the world. There are many women that unfortunately they're married to an idiot. They're married to someone that if they listen to him, they will spend all of the rent money on studio time. They'll spend all the rent money on gambling or Bitcoin or cocaine or pills or whatever foolishness that their husband is involved in. And he will demand that they do it like a pimp in the world who has a wife who obeys him, but in obeying him, she sleeps with other men. You see, so it's not as simple as just obey your husband. It matters about the kind of husband you have as well. That matters a lot. If you have a wicked husband, you cannot obey him, because in obeying him, you dishonor him. In obeying him, you prove him to be an evil leader. So disobeying him, in most cases, is the best thing you can do for him. If you disobey him, you'll pay the rent this week because you won't spend it on Bitcoin or cocaine or studio time. You'll love your husband more by disobeying him. So it's not as simple as that. But it absolutely does mean this. If your husband is a righteous man and is someone that should be obeyed, then absolutely, if you can't learn from him, then who in the hell can you learn from? You want to talk so much, learn from your husband, which is the point that Paul is trying to bring out. Paul is trying to bring out a situation where women are really coming to school to teach. That's why they're there. They're not there to learn. They come to teach. And many times they'll do it under the guise of, I have questions, but really they don't have questions. Their question is phrased as a lesson. I'll give you a few examples. Well, sir, is it true that a husband is supposed to pay all your bills? And if he doesn't pay all your bills, then who is he to tell you that you should obey him? I get those questions every week. There's really some woman that is actually trying to battle her husband, actually trying to teach him something by her question. And Paul, of course, is not slow to that. He's not slow to that. Really, this question is simply a way to embarrass her husband. We'll probably get one by tonight or next week. Some woman will say, well, is it true that if a husband, if he can't do what he's supposed to do, then how is he supposed to tell his wife what to do? Shut up. Shut your mouth. Go ask him that. Go ask him. Go ask your husband that question at home. Oh, you're not going to. I know you're not. Because really you want to teach. You don't want to learn. You want to teach. You only can choose a God that allows you to agree with yourself. That's the God you choose. The God in your own stupid head. Paul, of course, is wise to this. So he's talking to that sister. But if you're that kind of sister, learn from him. He's a wise man. Ask him that question. Ask him the question that you want to embarrass him to ask online, just so you can shame and embarrass him. That's the point, all right? Is there anything else?
Kind of. That's all on that. ISUPK Sat had a question. Salak, sir. Can I get a breakdown on Revelations 20 and verse 7 through 8, Baba Kashah?
No problem.
Revelations 20 and verse 7. And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth.
This is biblical prophecy that was made back during the time of the Roman Empire, when the Roman Empire was the superpower on the planet Earth, and there was simply no defying Rome. All roads led to Rome. If you were somewhere in France, what is now called France, which it was that time called Gaul, or in España, which now is called Spain, right? Before you know it, if you disobeyed Rome, you'd see soldiers coming down those Roman roads to quell your rebellion, to destroy any thought that you could ever come against the Roman Empire. Well, during that time, the Apostle John in prison prophesied that Rome would fall, and through the fall of Rome, Blacks and Latinos would finally get to tell the truth about who they are. Because before that time, white supremacy was in control of the planet Earth, when the Roman Empire was in control of the planet Earth. And brothers like you and I, Blacks and Latinos, we were slaves, or we were gladiators fighting in some arena, fighting in Caesar's palace. That's who we are. That's who we were at that time. But John prophesied that the time would come when those lies would be trapped. White supremacy would be trapped. During that time, Blacks and Latinos rose up in power and in great prominence all throughout Europe. The patron saint of the Catholic Church is Saint Maurice. That is who is the patron saint of the entire Catholic Church. His picture is hanging up in the Vatican today, because that's the time when Saint Maurice was thriving and ruling and running, and his great courage was able to be spoken of. His great deeds of courage and wisdom were able to be touted all throughout the Roman Empire. And if you give Blacks and Latinos a chance, a fair playing field, then we'll rule every country. That happened. That happened in Europe during the time of the Dark Ages. You can go get books like Nature Knows No Color Line and read about all of the Black people. So Queen Charlotte is one of them, because I see they have a TV show. I see a commercial on my phone coming up for Queen Charlotte, who was a Black woman. And many other Blacks led countries like Aragon and countries all throughout Europe. Then the lies were released. Then the Renaissance came. The word Renaissance means rebirth. What is it the rebirth of? The rebirth of white supremacy. That's when the Renaissance artists like Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci and Goya all came up on the scene and began to illuminate the scriptures. Many of you have heard of the Illuminati. Well, the first Illuminati were the people that drew the pictures in the Bibles, and they called it illuminate. They were called the Illuminators. Look that up for me, Ephraim. I think they were either called the Illuminati. I think that's what they were called, the Illuminati. and they were the people who illuminated the scriptures, because they would draw white pictures of the saints of God, draw white pictures of all of the biblical figures, and put them in the Bible. And they were called the Illuminati. And the act of drawing those pictures in the Bible was called illuminating the Bible. If you have it, Ephraim, you can put it up on the screen. Well, that is when that monster was let out of that cage. He was released. And now everyone in Europe who had one time heard of Saint Maurice and knew that their king was black, they didn't care about that back then. That meant nothing. That your king or your queen was dark skinned, it meant nothing at all. Nothing at all. But then what happened? Then the lies were released out of that cave, out of that prison. And then white supremacy in the Renaissance was able to take control of the planet Earth. And it has control unto this day. But the control is waning. White supremacy is finally weakening, because we're coming upon the end of days. We're coming upon World War III and the end of Esau. The end of our oppressor is the beginning of Jacob, which cometh after. The Israelites will rule the next kingdom. So their white supremacy, or what is betterwise known as the American dream, is finally dying. People are waking up. People are waking up from the American dream, but it's been alive and thriving since the Renaissance. Everyone understands.
Okay. You got Chicago with us, sir.
Chi-Town. Good to see you, Warriors. If you have any questions, please, you or Pittsburgh, please feel free to let me know, okay?
What kind, sir? You got a question?
Sergeant General, if I may.
Please.
I have a question according to the book of 2 Kings, the 4th chapter. Let me bring it up right now for you, sir. It's in verse 41, dealing with the prophet Elisha. There was brothers that was eating some pottage, and I would like to know, according to the text, as far as what exactly did he put into the pot for brothers to be able to eat it and not get sick and die.
Let's hear it.
Come to God. This is 2 Kings chapter 4. I'm going to start at verse 38. And Elisha came again to Gilgal, and there was dearth in the land. And the sons of the prophets were sitting before him. And he said unto his servant, set on the great pot, and seeth the pottage for the sons of the prophets.
Say that one more time.
Set on the great pot. And
did you say set on?
Great pot, sir.
What's the word you said before that?
Set on.
Set on, O-N.
Come to con.
Set on the great pot. Go ahead.
Set on the great pot, and setteth pottage for the sons of the prophets.
Sorry. And setteth pottage. Where are you at? Where are you reading from?
I'm at the end of verse 38, sir.
What chapter?
Chapter 4.
What
in the book of 2 Kings.
The book of, let me catch up with you, all right? Bear with me, please. 2 Kings. Stand by. 2 Kings, what chapter?
Chapter 4, sir.
What verse?
At the end of verse 38.
One moment. Okay. End of 38. Yeah. We're sitting before, God was sitting before him, and he said unto his servants, set on the great pot and seethe pottage. That word is seethe, right? Seethe means to boil. That's what seethe means. It means to boil. All right.
Go on the con, sir.
And seethe pottage for the sons of the prophets. Is that your question, or was your question something else?
My question is in verse 41.
Okay. He said, and bring meal, and he cast it into the pot, and he said, pour out for the people. They eat, and there was no harm. Sorry, HARM, right? There was no harm in the pot. Is that your question? Is what does no harm in the pot mean? Mint?
My question is, what was it that Elisha cast into the pot for there to be no harm?
41, it said, bring meal, correct?
Come.
Meal is cornmeal. Cornmeal,
Okay.
you can buy that in the store today. It's grits, in essence. If y'all have grits down there in Chicago, that's a southern thing.
Come.
For the cornmeal, you use cornmeal to make cornbread today, right? So in essence, pottage is stew. That's what pottage is. It's called pottage because you make it in a pot. But so a pottage is a stew. Remember back when Esau came in from hunting, back in the book of Genesis, he told Jacob he was so hungry. He said, give me that same red pottage, meaning Jacob was about to cook up a pot of beef stew or venison or whatever clean meat it was. And Esau said, nah, or lamb, more than likely, I believe. Esau didn't want to wait for Jacob to cook the stew. He wanted to eat it red. So he said, see that same red pottage, meaning imagine a leg of lamb you cut up, put it in a pot with some potatoes in there, and the white man come from outside and say, give it to me right now. Don't even cook it. Jacob said, damn, well, give me your birthright at least, you nasty bastard. And so whenever you read about pottage, it's a stew. So they took this stew, and they put cornmeal in the stew. Now, I'm assuming you brothers have been poor. This is a poor people's thing here. Okay, so imagine if there are tons of tribes. The tribe of Ephraim does this. The tribe from Brazil. Who's the tribe from Brazil again?
Asher.
They do this too, brother, where they get a pot of stew and just put cornmeal in it to make it thick. For what reason? Because you're poor and it makes it more filling. So now, what does it mean when it says, I'm sorry, do I need to read some more? You read 41. What does 42 say?
Verse 42. And there came a man from Bashalah and brought the man of God bread of the first fruits, 20 loaves of barley, and full ears of corn.
Gotcha. So that's all I need. So now, what does it mean when it says there was no harm in the pot? What does that mean? Do you know?
Sorry, sir, if I may.
Go ahead.
As you just said, that he put the cornmeal into the pot, so that way the brothers can be able to eat the pottage.
So what does it mean? So translate that term for me. There was no harm in the pot. So if there was no harm in the pot, what was in the pot?
Death.
If there was no harm, is that what it said, right?
Come to con.
If there was no harm in the pot, then what was in the pot?
Harm.
There was no harm in the pot. That's what it says. Am I right? I'll go back and look.
So Salaki, sir, would it be lawful ingredients in the pot?
If there was no harm in the pot, you got to kind of use to understand the spiritual language it's speaking in. If what's the opposite of harm?
Oh well, there was life in the pot.
There was life in the pot. There was the pot. The stew was good. It was good. That's what it means. It doesn't mean the cornmeal didn't get rid of poison. But when they put that cornmeal in the pot with that beef, it was good. That was good. That's what it means. When it says there was no harm in the pot. That's the Bible's way of saying that stew was good. No harm in that pot.
Okay.
Good. They ate. And remember, they're hungry, which is why the next verse is going into how they brought the first fruits in, because they needed this first fruits. They needed this crop to come in. They were hungry. And remember, who is he feeding? He's feeding the sons of the prophets. One, the fact that they were called sons of the prophets lets you know that they know where prophets come from. Prophets come from men who have sons who have prophets, because the prophets are reincarnated into this earth. That's why these men were called sons of the prophets, because if you're a prophet, then your great-great-grandfather must have been one, because that's where they come from. If you're a prophet of God, then Elijah must be in your lineage. Ezekiel must be in your lineage. Moses, Aaron in your lineage. Hosea in your lineage, because prophets come from the prophets of old. The prophets of today are the prophets of old. So you're the sons of the prophets. And the sons of the prophets were working hard, and they were on the run because they were being persecuted. They were being, I believe in Kings, they were being persecuted by Jezebel or someone else. But they were on the run and they were hungry. This person sat down, man, made them a big pot of stew, thickened it with cornmeal. There was no harm in that pot. You understand me?
Come
no harm in that pot, brother. That stew was good. You understand me? This is how blacks and Latinos talk. Oh, there was no harm in that pot. That pot was full of what's good. That was delicious. So good, the Bible remembered it. It's remembered all throughout damn generation because there was no harm in that pot. That's the point. You understand?
General.
Anything else?
Lie, sir. Not for right now, the one.
So, like you said, the sister who had that question earlier said the water, sir, and she said, I would also like to know, can a husband keep a wife from going to Passover?
Can a husband, now let me ask you a question. Is your husband trying to keep you from going to Passover? Whenever she's ready, I'll answer.
Come on.
Anything else?
So we have a few more questions in the comments. Sister asks, Salaki, sir, were all the souls that existed all here from the beginning, or were more souls created, and where do they come from?
All the souls from the beginning are the same souls here. That's it. The souls from the past are the souls here. That's in the book of Ecclesiastes. All right. If you want it, you can get it to the sister. That which was before, the same as, you know what I'm talking about.
There's nothing new under the sun.
Solid. Every soul that is here right now was here before. There's no new person on this planet. None. If you're on this planet right now, you were here before. And the people that will be born in the future, they are the people that were here today. That's how it works. That's how it works with all living things. Every living thing that is alive, it was alive before. And the spirit comes back again as the body of a thing is renewed. It's how farming works. It's how the plants keep coming back, and it's how people keep coming back. Everyone that is here now was here before. Everyone that will be here is here already. Brother, we'll get the precept for the sister, all right?
Come.
Whenever the sister gets my answer about whether or not her husband is keeping her from the Passover, please let me know, all right? Is there anything else?
Let me see if the sister said, I was told he can.
Right. Is your husband keeping you from the Passover? That's my question, sweetness. Just answer the question, please. Until she answers, just keep going.
Come. Another question in the comments. Brother asks, if I could, sir, can I get a general breakdown on 1 Corinthians 11 and 14, Bible Kushah Watawata?
Absolutely, yeah. Whenever you're ready, you can read it.
1 Corinthians 11 and 14. Does not even nature itself teach you that if a man have long hair, it is a shame unto him?
We can do that, but let's before I forget, let's do the one for the sister with Ecclesiastes. Are you not able to find it? If so, I can get it for you.
Ecclesiastes 6 and 10, I think it is.
There is no new thing under the sun. I can get it if you can. I'll find it real fast.
Ecclesiastes 6 and 10. That which hath been is named already, and it is known that it is man.
Read that one more time.
That which hath been is named already, and it is known that it is man.
That which hath been is named already, and it is known that it is man. Man is that thing which hath been. Now give me the verse where it says that which hath been shall be. That might be a 9 or it might be above it. I'll get it.
Ecclesiastes 1 and verse 9.
Solid.
The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be.
That's all you need, sister. Read it one more time.
The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be.
The thing which hath been, it is that which shall be. That's past and future tense, right? The thing that hath been, that's in the past. It is that which shall be. That's in the future. The thing that was in the past shall be in the future. The thing that hath been is that which shall be. Keep going.
And that which is done is that which shall be done.
And that which is done, that's past tense. And that which is done is that which shall be done. Past tense, future tense. Keep going.
There is no new thing under the sun.
And there is no new what?
No new thing under the sun.
There is no new thing under the sun. Now go back to where we were before.
To Ecclesiastes 6, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. Ecclesiastes 6 and 10. That which hath been is named already.
See, the Bible says that which hath been is that which shall be. That which has been done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun. That which hath been is named already. Keep going.
And it is known that it is man.
It is what?
It is man.
So when the Bible says there is no new thing under the sun, does it mean that cars were here in the past? Cars were not here in the past. There was a time when there was no such thing as a car. There was a time when there was no such thing as an airplane. There was a time when there was no such thing as a phone, a cell phone, a computer. There was a time when there was no such thing as the internet. So when the Bible says there is no new thing under the sun, what is it talking about? It is named already. It is man. Man is the thing that there is no new one of. Every man from the past will be the people in the future. The things that people did in the past, they do in the future because they're the same people doing it over and over again. That's why we are the sons of the prophets, because we are the prophets from the past doing what we do, doing what we always do every time we come back. And our enemy is doing what he always does every time he comes back. Everyone understands.
Come on.
Anything else?
The sister asked to follow up. The sister Yupashiar asked, Salakia, sir. So Salakia, I had it a sec. Salakia, sir. Does that mean? Oh, Salakia, sir. So even while only 8 souls were here, compared to now, there are over 1 billion. Where were those souls then?
Well, those souls all drowned, died, and came back, just like you died and came back. At one time, there were only 8 souls, but it didn't start out like that. There were a lot of people, and then they all died. All of them were dead, and they came back. And what you want to do is don't think about it like at each moment in the planet Earth, the population is still the same. That's not what I'm saying. You might have a giant plague and 4 million people die. So now the population is smaller than it was 10 years ago. But give it a second. Give it a minute. People are coming back. The population will get right back up to what it was. And then it might drop again because of COVID or because of the Black Plague or because Donald Trump convinces everyone not to get vaccinated. So now 5 million people will die again. So the population drops, but it climbs back up. During the time of the flood, there were people on the earth. Then they all died, and then there were only 8 people left. Then those 8 people began to grow and have babies. Those babies were the people that died. Those babies that were procreated by those 8 souls were the people that died. They came back. And that's how it happens time and time again. The population drops, but then it climbs back up again because people have children. And those children are the souls of them that perished. Everyone understands.
Sir. The sister with the question about the Passover elaborated a little bit.
Go ahead.
She said, Khan, sir, I was told I can be kept out. The sister can't get along with me, so he can pick one.
I got you. Now, Ephraim, did I say that sometime either in this class or the next, a woman was going to do that? Ask her that question. Ask her, did I say in this class about 5 minutes ago that some woman was going to do the thing where she asked a question to embarrass her husband, where she's not really asking the question because she knows my answer, knows the answer I'm going to say. She already knows it, but she's trying to teach her husband that he's wrong. Now, what you women don't understand is that's what makes him sick of you. He's sick of that.
Right.
He's sick of you being such an embarrassment to him. What was the sister's name? Put it up on the screen again.
Let's see. It was Natty P213.
Do you brothers know who Natty P213 is?
I do not.
If you know who Natty P213 is, just say "Con" if you know what sister that is. Natty P213. I'll give the brothers a second, all right? And the sisters. Any sister that knows who Natty P or brother that knows who Natty P213 is, just say "Con" or "La." Maybe no one knows who she is. Maybe they do. But I would like Natty P213 to answer this question to me. Did she hear me say that what the other precept is actually talking about is women that are trying to teach their husband and embarrass them in public? And did she hear me say that a woman was going to do it today or next class? Please ask her that question, Ephraim, if you don't know.
Would you like me to read her follow-up comments, sir? She said, Khan, but I didn't want to lie. I really don't know. I'm learning. I was told by another brother to ask you.
I got you. Does anyone know who Natty P213 is? I'll answer your question next, Natty P213. You don't want to lie. God forbid. You're such a good person. God forbid you ever should lie. Maddie, let me give you some help, Natty P213. This is why your husband doesn't want you to come to the Passover. This is why, because he's sick of what an embarrassment you are. He's sick of it. He can't stand it. And because he can't stand it, he's barring you from coming to a lawful assembly, a law that God created for us to come together. He's barring you from it because he is concerned about what you'll do. So, Natty, let me answer your question. No one is to be barred from coming to the Lord's 57th annual Passover or any Passover unless the person has absolutely good cause to do so. There are some people that are barred from the Passover for instance, security reasons, right? There are some lunatic schizophrenics, and I have put their name on a list and their picture on a list. And if they come to the Passover, they're likely to be harmed. So they should not come to the Passover because they might be harmed in the defense of the good citizens who come to the Passover. In self-defense, of course. So they are not allowed to come, but it's a list of people. There's a list in the security department. Is Shamal Walla in there?
Come on, sir.
Shamal Walla, you know about this. Explain to everyone about that list.
Yes, so we have people who we have their picture and their name and the city they're from for security purposes because they are disturbance or they disrespected the school or disrespect Command General Yohana some type of way. So they are barred from our all UPK events.
Exactly. Shamal Walla, he would know. He knows better than me because he's in charge of the security at the Passover. And so if you're barred from the Passover, there's a picture. The security has your face on a picture and you can't come in. So there are people that are barred, but no one is barred from the Passover because you are mad at your wife. This school doesn't belong to you. Commanding General Yohana is not involved in your petty love struggles. And too many brothers out there think that the UPK is somehow involved in your petty love affair. We're not involved in it. Your wife is allowed to come to the Passover unless her name is on a list and the security department has decided she's a threat. Otherwise, she's allowed to come to the Passover. She's going to be allowed to come in the Passover. Why? Because we're not involved in whatever stupid, ignorant nonsense you're involved in with some stupid, ignorant woman. We're not in. Okay, it's not our job to help you punish your wife because she went through your phone. That's not our responsibility. We're having a Passover, and everyone who is an Israelite is allowed to come in it unless their name and picture is on a list. Did that help you out, sister? Natty P213? Did that help out your husband?
She just said, Khan, I want to honor the Most High.
Yeah, I hear you. Anything else? This is what you should do, sweetness. If you want to honor the Most High, you should not have asked that question in public. You should not have done that. This was a mistake because your husband is going to be angry with you because you asked this question in public. Because there are sisters and brothers in the school that know exactly who Natty P213 is. They know who you are, and if they know who you are, then they know who your husband is, and you just embarrassed him. So he's not going to be happy and now want to go to the Passover with you and rent the hotel room and have a wonderful family time with you. He's going to be angry at you again because you are inappropriate. You could have asked this question in private. You could have easily called your camp leader, called anyone in the school. Lord knows you don't have a problem calling me day and goddamn night. You could have did that. And then your husband would not have been angry with you. He wouldn't have felt embarrassed by you doing this to him. So many of you women, you wonder why you're not liked. It's because you're not likable. You're not likable. You're abrasive. And that abrasive nature that you have, it makes people not want to be with you. He's not the first man that didn't want to be around you. You know that. Your husband in the UPK is not the first man that couldn't wait to get away from you. He's just one of many. But he is the first man that is forced to be around you because of God's law and the system of righteousness and brotherhood and sisterhood and forgiveness that Commanding General Yohana has established. Your husband is not special in that he doesn't want to be around you. No man before him wanted to be around you either. But he is special in that he will force himself to be around you because the Bible says so. Now, why don't you do your part and make being around you a little easier? Make being around you a little more pleasant. You could do that. You could start by not being such an embarrassment to him, and you could have asked this very private question. You could have asked it in private. Now, tell me that you understand. Tell me that you know what I'm talking about. Tell me. Is there anything else?
Wow, sir.
Questions?
Colonel Khan. Trooper Quatavia Olive from Atlanta says, Salaki Adwan, if I may, can I get a general breakdown on Job 30 and 29 by Washab? Job 30 and 29. I am a brother to dragons and a companion to owls.
More?
That's the verse, sir. Verse 30.
Yeah, go ahead.
My skin is black upon me, and my bones are burned with heat.
Right. This is Job speaking, correct?
Khan. This
is in the book of Job or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is Job speaking about being homeless. He was homeless. He had to live outside. His home burned down. He lost all his children. And he was in a condition that many of us find ourselves in, especially many veterans who fought in Iraq and the future homeless veterans of the Iranian war. You have future homeless veterans that are being created as we speak. Men who are right now, women right now fighting in Iran, who are going to come home and be the next generation's population of homeless veterans. Well, Job went through that. Job lost everything, and now he's outside with the lizards and the owls. His friends are lizards and owls, just like if you are homeless in a city, who are your friends? Rats. That's who you sleep next to, rats and mice. You're sleeping outside downtown in some city, rats running across your feet. Commander General Yohana has taken me to places, brother, where we have to speak to a homeless population, and we're sitting there talking to them. And as I'm trying to drop the truth on them, I'm using all my strength to ignore these rats at my feet. All the strength I have is I'm trying to focus. I'm a young man too. General Yohana just teaching like he don't even see the rats. General Yohana acted like the rats were not there. I'm sitting there. I know they're there. I see those rats and I don't like it. Brother, and we teach, and the rats are doing this. In between our legs. Well, listen, I had to go there to teach them for a little while. They live there. That's where these brothers live. So that's what Job is talking about. He's living outside with the animals. That's the point. Anything else?
Wow, sir, that's all on that. And a quick shout out, Officer Dunya put in the chat that you will be teaching in Jersey City, New Jersey next Thursday.
Hold up, Adunya. The water. Next Thursday, I'll be coming down at Commanding General Yohana's request and order. I'll be coming down to Jersey City next Thursday to teach a class at wherever the brothers are teaching in Jersey City. And you can give everyone the address, correct, Ephraim?
Yes, sir. 89 Monticello Avenue.
The water, 89 Monticello Avenue. New Jersey City, New Jersey, 89 Monticello Avenue. Next Thursday, scripture breakdown class. You better come on in. Is there anything else?
Most High Christ, sir. We've got a few more questions in the comments. Hamar UPK asks, Shalom, Yahweh Shem Shrakatah, sir, Salaki, with your grace, General. In 1 Chronicles 21:1, is the Satan in this verse talking about the angel of the Lord?
All right, let's hear.
1 Chronicles 21 and verse 1. And Satan stood up against Israel and provoked David to number Israel.
Is Satan talking about the angel of the Lord?
Yes, sir. That's what he asked.
Satan is the angel of the Lord that seduced David into numbering Israel. If that's what he's talking about.
Come on, sir.
That's what he's talking about. That's his answer. Satan is an angel of the Lord. It's in Job, the book of Job, I believe, 1 and 7. You know what that is, Zach? I could be wrong. I might be right. Is that right? Tell it to the brother, please, and go ahead and read it.
Job 1 and 7. And the Lord said unto Satan, whence comest thou? Then Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro.
My apologies. Go up above it when there was like a council in heaven where the sons of God came before the Lord to present themselves.
Sir, verse 6. Now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord.
So just like we have a major council in the Israelite school of UPK, this was a day when the Most High God required all of his servants to come before him and to present themselves, to explain what they had done, to explain their business and whether or not they were performing their service under God adequately. All of the angels, that's who the sons of God were. The angels came before the Lord to present themselves. Keep going.
And Satan came also among them.
And Satan did what?
Came also among them.
Why did Satan come among the sons of God? To present himself. That's why. To present himself. Because Satan works for God like every other angel does. His job is simply to test you, while the job of the other angels have different jobs, right? But Gabriel has a specific job. Michael has a specific job. The other angels, all the other nation of armies of angels have different jobs. Satan is in charge of testing you. And he came to present himself with every other angel. And that's when he brung up Job. The Most High God brought up Job. And Satan wanted the Most High God to know that if you stop protecting Job, I'll hurt him. I'll do my job on Job too. I know my job. I know my job is to test people. Job just hasn't been tested properly because you protect him, Lord. So he was letting the Most High God know that don't think I'm failing in testing Job. I can't test him because you protect him, Lord. But if you stop protecting him, please believe me, I'll turn him. The Most High God said, all right, I'm going to stop protecting him. Just don't take his life. And Satan did his office on Job, brother. Satan did his work like every good angel is supposed to do. He was zealous to perform his duty on Job. He was supposed to be that way. And Job passed the test. Pray you understand.
Come on.
Is there anything else?
If I could ask a question on that, In the Hebrew, it says Hashatan. Is Satan like a title or a position, or is it like an individual name?
It's an individual name, like Michael or Uriel, or all those other angels that have names. It's an individual name. That's his name.
We got Montreal with us, sir.
Oh, Montreal. Give me some French. How do I say hello in French?
Hey, shalom alaikum, yabashin shabakatah, sir.
What do you have? Go ahead, please.
At this time, you would say bonsoir, other one.
Bonsoir.
Bonsoir,
Montreal. Good to see you, warrior.
Likewise, sir, other one.
Well, did you have a question, or are you good to go?
So, if I could, I did have a question, if I could, sir. A breakdown, other one, of Leviticus chapter 19, verse 20. Just a general breakdown, if I could. I don't want to have it right in front of me.
Please.
It reads Leviticus chapter 19, verse 20. And whosoever lieth carnally with a woman that is a bondmaid, betrothed to an husband, and not at all redeemed, nor freedom given her, she shall be scourged. They shall not be put to death, because she was not free. So just a general breakdown, if I could, other one.
So this is like marrying a woman who's under contract to work for someone else. She doesn't have the liberty to get married without permission, right? Because of course, if she gets married, she can't work for her boss anymore. So just think, she has a labor contract. She has to work for someone. But you go out and you have sex with her without getting the permission of her boss. So her boss, in essence, takes the position of her father. And the important thing to remember is there was no sex that could be had in Israel without a man's permission. You could not have sex with any woman without getting some man's permission. You had to have it. And of course, this is how the Most High God kept pouring out of our nation. This is the Most High God's provision to make sure that our daughters are not whores. The key to not having a nation of whores is to not leave the choice to the woman. If the choice is up to the woman, then of course she's having sex with whoever she likes, with whoever she thinks is adorable, or whoever has enough money to buy her a drink, or whoever can buy her weed, or whoever is a rebound because her boyfriend broke her heart. So she'll have sex with whatever emotional response she has that causes her to have sex. And in doing so, you're going to have whores. You're going to have prostitutes. You're going to have a nation of sluts. And this nation has fallen to whoredom. So how do you make sure that you don't have whores in this nation? Don't leave the choice to the woman. Let a father decide. He decides. So now this woman, she works for this man. She's his maid or his whatever for a certain amount of time. You can't just have sex with her. You're going to have to go to her boss, because now he's the one that's responsible for her. He's the custodian over that woman. The father has said, fine, my daughter's going to work for you for 10 years. She's going to live in your house, clean up your floors, take care of your wife and your kids. A man just can't come have sex with her. Her boss is her legal custodian. You know that happens today. Right now, today, there are children like Michael Jackson when he was a baby, and all types of other. Usher went the same way, where the parents will sign over custodianship to the music producer. Have you ever heard of this before, Montreal?
Kind, sir.
Oh, this happens. I think it happened with Usher and Justin Bieber. Now they got molested on both draw legs for doing it. They got molested until they couldn't sit down. But this happened where the child now goes and signs a record deal, like Justin Bieber or Usher or countless other children performers, and the music producer is the legal guardian of the child. The parent signs over custodianship to the record label, to the music producer. So now if you want to marry that girl, you have to go to the music producer because he's the legal guardian of the child. Does everybody know what I'm talking about? This is done all the time. I think this happened with Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne, when he went to sign that record deal with that man that kept kissing him, that man was his legal custodian. That was his legal custodian, that record producer. You know what I'm talking about, Montreal?
Birdman.
Birdman, right. Birdman was the legal guardian of Lil Wayne. So if Lil Wayne wanted to marry someone, or if he was a woman, you'd have to go to Birdman to get the permission for it. Now Birdman put his tongue in his mouth and kissed him for fun. So that was a bad idea. but you can understand why, you know, if your son or daughter is working for someone and they're away from you, that's their legal parent. You have to go to them to get married. That's the point. Anything else? Anyone else?
So we got some more questions in the comments. Brother asked Salaki Alawap, can you break down Ecclesiasticus 29 and 11 through 13?
Absolutely.
Ecclesiasticus 29 and 11. Lay up thy treasure according to the commandments of the Most High, and it shall bring thee more profit than gold.
Lay up your treasure according to the commandments of God means take the tithes off the top, because that's not your treasure. That belongs to the Most High God. So, and don't steal and now pile up a ton of treasure that's from money that you stole from someone else. Don't stack up treasure that you've gotten from fraud or from crime. Don't do that. The Most High God gave us laws. And in those laws, if we work within those laws, we can prosper. We can grow. We can become rich. You can do that. But many times you attempt to become rich and break the commandments of God and becoming rich, and you're just going to become poor. That's the point. Is there anything else?
So verse 12. Shut up alms in thy storehouses, and it shall deliver thee from all affliction.
Here's another thing. Shut up alms in your storehouse, meaning what? Take a portion of that money and give it to the poor. Take that money and stack it up over here for the poor. And if you do that, read that last part again.
And it shall deliver thee from all affliction.
Because you have money set to the side for poverty. You have a safety net. That's what it's called in most countries. A social safety net. There's supposed to be a portion of money that is not invested, that is not spent to make more money, but it's insurance for when people get sick, for when you need to go to the hospital, for when there's a drought or a famine or a plague. You have a certain amount of money set to the side for bad times. That's how Joseph, the Puerto Rican, the father of the Puerto Ricans, was able to get Egypt through the time of famine. That was 7 years of famine, which was a terrible time. Every other country was poor and starving except for Egypt, because Egypt had set aside goods, set aside grain for 7 years before the famine. And they did that because Joseph had a dream. Joseph was a so-called Latino or Puerto Rican, the chosen people of God. And he told Pharaoh his dream that there was a famine coming. So put away food for 7 years. At the end of that 7 years, while everyone else starved, Egypt was rich. That's how Egypt became rich. And every other nation had to serve Egypt. That's what the scripture is talking about. Put money aside. Alms is money for the poor. Put that aside. Put that aside. You might need it one day. Is there anything else?
Kind of verse 13. It shall fight for thee against thine enemies better than a mighty shield and strong spear.
Oh, I think I just broke that down. That's what happened in Egypt, though. That's what happened. While every other country, all of Egypt's enemies were starving, Egypt had plenty of corn. And that their riches fought for them because every other nation was starving and was poor. If you have money that you have saved for a rainy day, for bad times, that money is going to fight for you against your enemies. Now your enemies won't be able to get you to do something to save your life. Many of you, you're so poor that you'll do anything. When your enemy comes to you and offers you a crumb to survive, you'll take it. You'll sell your children if it means that you might save your own life. You'll sell one child to save the lives of other children. Many people have done it. Many people have sacrificed their loved ones out of hunger and fear. What if you obeyed this scripture and you put money to the side, goods to the side, to help you when that time comes? Then now when your enemy tries to destroy you, you will have the resources to destroy him. Is there anything else?
Well, I said that's all on that.
Solid. Next.
Concert the Wwiii Allah as Shalom Yahweh Shem Shabrakatah Salaki, sir, with your grace, my Lord. What was it like being in the truth at such a young age with all your friends and family telling you otherwise?
It was the same way it is with you are. That's all. It was the exact same way. The things I went through when I was a young man in the truth was the exact same thing that you're going through. And that's it. And I just stayed close to Commanding General Yohana, brother. That's all I did. And that's exactly what you should do. I pray you understand. Is there anything else?
Yes, sir. Brother Shelton asked, are there scriptures I can use when my mom argues with me about me saying cuss words? She acts as if it's the end of the world is taking place if I cuss.
All right. Do you live with your mother? And how old is she? How old are you?
I'll let you know if the brother responds, sir.
Please, next.
Colonel Khan. Y'all Rumban Yahweh asked Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah Brakatah, General, with your grace, Baba Shah. May I get a breakdown of John 9 and 4, the water, General, for your service?
Please, the water for your service, please.
John 9.
Service. Go ahead.
Colonel Khan. So John 9 and verse 4. I must work the works of him that sent me while it is day. The night cometh when no man can work.
He wants just a general breakdown. This is in the New Testament, right?
Colonel Khan.
This is what Jesus, this is Jesus Christ. This is written in red.
Yes, sir.
This is Jesus Christ prophesying the time when he was going to leave and the truth was going to leave for a time. Jesus Christ gave his life on the cross. The prophets of God, the disciples of Christ, they were able to teach for a time. And then the truth was destroyed, went to sleep until the last days. That's what the Bible says. The Bible says the Lord said, seal up the book until the final days, until the last days. So there was a time when Jesus Christ was walking around on the earth and he was going to work hard every day because his time was short. Historians say Jesus Christ had about 3 years to perform his work. That was that. And then the disciples, after Jesus Christ died, were able to work for a time. Then John went to prison. James was killed. Peter was killed. The truth was wiped out, and the truth went dark until 1969. During that entire time, there was no way that you could be in the truth. During the time of Nat Turner, you couldn't be in the truth, so you had to be Nat Turner. You couldn't be in the truth, so you had to be Harriet Tubman. You couldn't be in the truth, so the prophets of God, the disciples of Christ, and the sisters who served Christ had to do what they had to do during that time because there was no way to work in those times until 1969. Then the book was open. Now the truth of God, the truth of the Bible, the truth of who the true and biblical Jews are finally was heard again. Now we could work. But before that day, we couldn't. That's the point. Is there anything else?
Sir, that's all on that. The brother from the previous question said, concert the water. I plan on living and dying in this truth, Adawan.
Well said. Bien dicho. Bien dicho.
Brother Port Van Knight asked Salaki Adawan, if I may ask, how long should or can I stay a trooper in the UPK? And is there an acceptable time to transition to an officer before I'm looked at differently?
Okay. Looked at, let me just try to make it as simple as I can for you. If you want to be a trooper for the rest of your life, you can be. The brothers will simply look at you as a trooper. That's it. They'll say that this brother is a trooper. If that's what you want to be, then you can just be a trooper for 40 years. You can be a trooper until Jesus Christ comes back, if that's what you want to be. Now, when you say before the brothers look at you differently, the brothers will not look at you differently. They will look at you as a trooper. So if you want to be looked at as a trooper, be a trooper. Don't do anything else. Now, if you want to be looked at as an officer, then you're going to have to strive to be an officer. The truth is like anything else in life. You get out of it what you want. You get what you want. If you want to be an officer, you do it. You do it. You step up and you do it. If you want to be a trooper, step up and do that. The brothers will accept you based on whatever you want to be. But just remember, you are choosing. You're doing the choosing. So if you like being a trooper and you don't mind being considered that forever, keep doing it. That's up to you. Everybody understands.
Come on.
Anything else?
This could be a good time to get into your topics, sir.
Well, let's go ahead and do it then. Give Ephraim a hand, and then they on the proposal. Get it on. We'll get into the topic now, Ephraim. Wherever you want to rock it, let's rock it up. I don't remember my reply from that sister 213. I didn't hear her tell me that she understood what I said. Where was that? You forgot?
She did. The last thing she said was Salakia, sir. She said, Khan, I can do that, but I was directed to ask because I don't know who my camp leader is. And then General Q said, no sweat, sis, you got your answer. And then I don't think she said anything after that.
All right. And what about the brother? I asked him, how old was he and does he live with his mother? Let me answer that question, unless he didn't answer at all, and I can move on.
Khan, sir, he did not answer.
Okay, let me just answer the question for the brother just in case. Okay, the brother asked, what was it again?
Asked about his mother acting like it's the end of the world when he says a cuss word.
Okay, it is not the end of the. I'm going to assume you're a young brother. You live in a house with your mom. Maybe you are not 18 years old. Maybe you're a young brother. And your mother, of course, does not want you to use profanity. Now, it is not the end of the world if you use profanity, but it is also not skillful in teaching to use profanity. Using profanity is an indulgence. You understand? It's something that you can do. If you want to do it, you can do it. All right? You haven't sinned against the Lord in using profanity at all. But remember, it is an indulgence. What do I mean by an indulgence? It's something that you like to do. It's comfortable to do it. But if you are a person that cannot speak without using profanity, you are absolutely unskilled in teaching. You are unskilled in speaking. If you want to make your profession excellent, if you want to look at the job of being a speaker, of being a teacher, if you want to consider it a profession, a vocation, then you absolutely should learn to speak without using profanity. You should absolutely do it. And so your mother, if your mother wants a son that can speak for 10 minutes without cursing, your mother is not asking you to do something that's impossible. And if you could do what she's asking, you would be a better teacher. You are absolutely not a teacher that is skillful if every time you speak, you can't speak without cursing. You're not going to be able to be on the podium for 10 seconds. You're not going to be able to do it because you're going to go to camp and you're going to curse at camp, and your camp leader is going to pull you off the podium. If someone needs to go speak at CNN or speak on some major media outlet, they are not going to ask you to do it because every time you speak, you curse. So although your mother is overreacting by thinking that cursing is the end of the world, she is absolutely not asking you to do something that is difficult to do. And in doing so, you absolutely will be a better teacher if you can speak without cursing. Everyone understands.
Sir. The sister from earlier said, I'm here, sir, at the water for the lesson.
Please, they're not.
And one more question. The brother asked, Shalom, General, it's always Tawab to see you, sir. Is it permitted for an Israelite to vote for Jasmine Crockett?
Absolutely not. Now, is Jasmine Crockett married?
Not to my awareness, sir.
Or does she have a man?
Not to my awareness.
Well, then you can go into Jasmine Crockett's DMs. And you could say, listen, Jasmine Crockett, I can't vote for you, but I can take you out to this nice restaurant after camp. You could do that. You could take Jasmine Crockett out for a nice dinner, for drinks, a couple of drinks. You can take her out for a drink or two. but you cannot vote for Jasmine Crockett. You're not helping her by voting for her. But if she was to go out for, casual drink, for a few cocktails with you, and then maybe for a nice dinner, or, take her down to the camp, show her the brothers out there on 115th Street out there in Harlem, she'd have a wonderful evening, a wonderful night, and that would do her a lot more good than voting for her. Is there anything else?
Well, sir, that's all on that.
All right, next.
If you want to pick up where we left off last week in the Seven Mountains Mandate,
please, let's go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Now, wait, what I might need before this, give me the soldiers in Iran complaining because their commanders were telling them that this war was a war for Jesus and Christianity. Give me that video first, and then we'll take that into the Seven Mountains Mandate. I'm going to explain something to you this week so that you brothers out there who were coerced into joining the white man's military can understand what a disservice your preacher did. Many of you, the reason that you joined the white man's military is because your preacher told you to, or the IUIC told you to, or some Israelite group told you that if you want to be a real man, if you want to learn how to be a man, you go and join the white man's military. Those preachers did you a great disservice in doing so, because as they were, all they cared about is you going off and becoming a servant. They didn't care about who you were serving. They sent you to serve a pedophile. They sent you to serve a liar and a thief. They knew that you becoming a servant would do good, would do you good. You become a better person. But because your preacher is short-sighted and greedy, he paid no account into who you would be serving. You're serving Donald Trump. You're serving a pedophile. And this happened this week in the white man's military. Whenever you have the video, put it up on the screen. This week in the white man's military, after they went to Iran and about 6 soldiers were killed, the commanders in Iran went to their troops and said, "You're fighting for Jesus. You're fighting for the Christian church." And the soldiers got angry and said, "Wait a minute, I didn't come over here to fight for your white Jesus." And they went and complained and put in complaints on their commanding officers. Do you have it yet, Ephraim?
Try and pull it up.
No problem.
With it.
And they went in and put in complaints on their commanding officers because they did it. Can you imagine what they must have thought as they just realized that they're in Iran to fight for the white man's Christianity? That's why they're here. They're not there to fight for America and freedom and for justice. You're in Iran fighting so that the white Jesus can rule Iran, so that Iran can be ruled by white Christianity. That's not what you signed up for, is it? Blame your preacher because he told you to do it. You preachers told your congregation to sign up for the white man's military. And put some brothers, I want some brothers to come into the chat room and tell me about it. Tell me about some religious leader that told you, you know what your son needs? He needs to join the Navy. He needs to join the Army. That's what he needs. That'll make a man out of him. What is your preacher saying now? Is your preacher bothered to tell you that you are going to be a tool for white Christianity to rule the planet Earth? That's why you're there. You're there to die so that white people can rule more countries, so they can turn more countries into Christians. That's not the one. Is it the one?
I don't think it's the same one, but that one wasn't working for me, sir.
No problem. Play this one.
Come on.
The military
know
religious
what I'm talking about?
Yes, sir.
Keep going.
Freedom Foundation says it has been flooded with complaints from service members across every branch. The group reports more than 110 complaints tied to commanders promoting apocalyptic Christian theology around the Iran war. Complaints came from more than 40 units at over 30 military installations between Saturday and Monday. One commander told non-commissioned officers the war was part of God's divine plan, citing the book of Revelation and saying President Trump was anointed by Jesus to spark Armageddon in Iran.
Oh, my God. In 2 days, they had 110 complaints. from stupid idiots who listened to some preacher who told them to go join the army and they'll make a man out of you. Go join the army so you can get off the streets. And then their commanding officer says, Jesus sent Donald Trump to start Armageddon, so that's why you're actually here. Now go die. Go die in Iran. 110 people from every branch of the military put in a complaint against their commanding officer from Saturday to Monday. That's what happened this week. Don't you understand? That's the real reason you're in Iraq. Iran. That's the real reason you're in Iran. Because some preacher made you a tool of white supremacy. That is what a soldier is in the white man's military. You are not someone learning to be a man. If you were learning to be a man, then so many veterans wouldn't commit suicide. Then so many veterans wouldn't beat their wives. Then so many veterans wouldn't become alcoholics and homeless. You're not going to become a better man because you're in the white man's military. You're going to become a homeless drug addict because you're in the white man's military. But what you will become is a tool for white supremacy. And the commanders in Iran just told the soldiers that. They said it to them. They told them Jesus chose Donald Trump to bring Armageddon. Now go and die. Now, as you're doing that, I want you to remember the person that told you to enlist. That's all I want to know about. I want to know about the person that said you should join the army. That's what I'm not hearing enough stories about. I'm not hearing enough stories about that woman or that preacher who told you, you know what you should do? You know what you need? Join the Navy. I want people to put those stories on the internet because that is the problem. And I'm going to explain to you how deep that problem is and where it comes from. People coming around talking about how wonderful the military is, how wonderful the white man's military is. That is by design, and I will show you where that comes from tonight. Now, let's go into something that's part of this entire conspiracy. It's called the Seven Mountains Foundation. Now, there was a place a long time ago called Rome. Earlier in this class, we spoke about how white supremacy was trapped for 1,000 years. It was called the Dark Ages. Then white supremacy was freed during the time of the Renaissance. What is white supremacy? White supremacy is the Roman belief that only white people are smart, only white people have authority, and only white people should rule the planet Earth. That belief was promoted during the time of the Renaissance when the Illuminati, which was the name of the people who drew the pictures inside of the Bible and drew all of the pictures of the people of God, of the Israelites and the Jews, they drew these pictures to be white people. All of the artwork all throughout Venice and all throughout the Vatican was pictures of white people as the Israelites, as biblical figures. Those pictures became the most famous pictures. Those paintings became the most famous paintings. In Rome, Rome had 7 hills. You can look this up. If you're able to put it up on the screen, Ephraim, you can. Rome was ruled by 7 hills. They had the Palatine Hill. They had Mars Hill. Mars Hill was where the military government was. The Palatine Hill was where the businesses or the merchants were. And Rome had 5 other hills, and these hills were the governments of Rome. All right, the governments of Rome. And so Rome had 7 mountains or 7 hills. Well, there is a new religious belief system. When I say it's new, it's been around, I think, since the Iraqi war, and it's called the 7 Mountains belief system. And it's based on the 7 hills of Rome, the exact place where white supremacy was freed during the time of the Renaissance, when they illuminated the Bible to show all of the children of God who were actually Black and Latino. They showed those people to be white people. And it was in Rome, and now Rome is doing it again. What do you have there, Ephraim?
These are the 7 hills.
Now, these are the 7 hills of Rome. What are the names of them?
Quirinal Hill, Viminal Hill, Esquiline Hill, Capitoline Hill, Palatine Hill, Callian, Servian, and Aventine Hill.
And you got the Fist of Mars, right? Now, do you see one of them is called? You see one of them is called Capitoline Hill.
Yes, sir.
That's Capitol Hill. Capitol Hill is in Washington, D.C. today, right? Capitol Hill. Mars Hill is where the Pentagon would be today, right? All of these exist today. Well, there is a religious belief. This same religion is now fighting in Iran. There is a religious belief to bring back the Roman Empire, to bring it back. It was freed when they were loose during the time of the Renaissance, and they're trying to bring back the Roman Empire. Give me the video.
This 7 mountain mandate in his own words.
Hi, I'm Lance Wallnow. I want to talk to you for a moment about this concept called the 7M mandate. In reality, it started with a conversation I had in the year 2000. I had been talking to Lauren Cunningham, who's the founder of Youth with a Mission, and Lauren was sharing with me about a conversation he had had with Bill Bright. The two of them were visited, actually, by the Lord within the same 24 hours, and God spoke to them and said they had a message to give the other man. And the message was that there are 7 molders of culture, or 7 world kingdoms, and that he who could take those kingdoms could take the harvest of nations. Now, this illustration is the way I see it. I look at it this way. I see those 7 molders of culture as being the religion mountain, as a metaphor for something you've got to take or climb. Then we have education, we could say, family. These are in no particular order of importance. They all represent the forces that shape societies and nations. Government, media, art, which is the entertainment mountain, and business, which is where we have the economics mountain happening.
That right there. You understand? This is this belief system. Give me more videos on the 7 mountains, where they believe they have to control the media, control entertainment. They have to control that. They have to control the family. They have to control all of these things. And if you can control all of these things, then you can control all nations. That is white supremacy from the Roman Empire. It's the exact same thing. The Roman Empire had 7 hills that controlled every facet of life. It was a government over every facet of life. And if you could control these, you could control the planet Earth. Here's Charlie Kirk speaking about the same thing. Go ahead.
But I'll tell you, finally, we have a president that understands the 7 mountains of cultural influence.
Understand that? Play it again.
But I'll tell you, finally, we have a president that understands the 7 mountains of cultural influence.
This is what Charlie Kirk taught, and he is saying that Donald Trump believes the same thing. This is what your grandmother, your preacher, did to you by telling you to enlist in the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines. They made you a tool to bring back the Roman Empire. That's what they're trying to do. That's the point. Donald Trump is trying to do it. All of his staff are trying to do it. They believe in this new belief of the 7 mountains belief system. You control entertainment, control the family, control the schools, and in doing so, you control the planet Earth. That is what Rome did. How dare you call yourself a Christian when in actuality you are trying to bring back the rebirth of the Roman Empire that killed him? That's what you're doing. And that's why you wear a cross. You don't wear a cross because you honor Jesus Christ. You wear a cross because you honor the nation that killed Jesus Christ on that cross. You're honoring the Roman Empire. That is the belief system of Donald Trump, of Charlie Kirk, of the admirals and generals in charge of the invasion of Iran. They're trying to bring back Rome. And it's in the book of Revelations where the Lord said, and that mortal wound which he was wounded was healed. Speaking about that beast with 7 heads and 10 horns, that beast that is the Roman Empire. He was wounded, but then he was healed and he came back. Donald Trump is trying to create a rebirth of the Roman Empire. Charlie Kirk was trying to create a rebirth of the Roman Empire. The military commanders are trying to bring back the Roman Empire, and they're using your sons and daughters to do it. Is there anything else?
So that's all on that.
Go ahead.
Kind of, sir. And also, brother asked in the comments, asked about they've been putting out a what they've been pushing as a Black History fact. I don't know if you're familiar with the when they had the Iran hostage crisis in the 70s.
Yeah.
They let go the Black hostages, and the Ayatollah said it was because Black people are oppressed in America. Our issue is not with them.
Yeah, the North Vietnamese did the same thing during the Vietnamese War. Okay, the Iranians and the North Vietnamese are not allies to Blacks and Latinos either. And that is, of course, not what you should be learning. Like, you should start loving the Iranians or loving the North Vietnamese. Nosotros solos. Nosotros solos. We ourselves alone. We are the only people that we can depend on. Not, some Muslim country or some, communist country in Malaysia. We're going to have to do this ourselves. Everybody understands.
Yes, sir.
All right. Anything else?
It's going to take out the Ayatollah. Oh, really? What comes next? What comes after regime change? Might be, oh, well, we need a small number of U.S. troops to support the new regime. We have seen this play before. Regime change, you have no idea how this is going to work out. You have no idea.
Stop right there. That's Charlie Kirk speaking against the possible invasion of Iran. Then he got shot, though. That's what happened after that. Then, of course, many people are saying that the Israelis were behind the shooting of Charlie Kirk because Charlie Kirk was against the Iranian invasion. And the Israelis must invade Iran while Donald Trump is in the White House and before there's a midterm election. The Israelis know that by the time there's a midterm election, they're not going to have enough control over America to be able to invade Iran. They have control over Donald Trump because of the Epstein list. And because Donald Trump is on the Epstein list, more than Harry Potter is in the Harry Potter books. They have control over him. But the minute that the Democrats control Congress or the Senate, they won't have the same control. So the Israelis know that the time was short for them to invade Iran, so they had to do it now. And Charlie Kirk was speaking against the invasion of Iran. Coincidentally, Charlie Kirk got killed. Is there anything else?
So when they asked the Speaker of the House on this is what he had to say.
Classified, so I'll tell you what I think is important. Israel was determined to act in their own defense here, with or without American support. Because Israel was determined to act with or without the U.S., our commander-in-chief and the administration and the officials I just named had a very difficult decision to make. They had to evaluate the threats to the U.S.
Marco Rubio saying the same thing. Now, you remember this when you remember your preacher told you to sign up and to enlist in the white man's military. Play Marco. This is the Speaker of the House, who is clearly a member of the LGBT community. Clearly. It's obvious. He is saying the reason that America attacked Iran was because the Israelis told America, we're attacking them regardless of what you say. We're not listening to you. We're going to attack Iran. And so America said, well, since you're going to do it, whether we disagree or not, we have to join in. Because if we don't, then our bases are going to get hit. Marco Rubio is going to say the same thing. Keep going. He's the Secretary of State. Go ahead and play it.
There absolutely was an imminent threat, and the imminent threat was that we knew that if Iran was attacked, and we believed they would be attacked, that they would immediately come after us. And we were not going to sit there and absorb a blow before we responded, because the Department of War assessed that if we did that, if we waited for them to hit us first after they were attacked, and by someone else, Israel attacked them, they hit us first, and we waited for them to hit us, we would suffer more casualties and more deaths. We went proactively.
Means out. Now remember that when your sons and daughters are dead. The Bible says that a man shall come against you from the other side of the world, and he will have no regard for the young or the old. Our oppressor does not care about the lives of your children. Do you understand what Marco Rubio is saying? Do you understand what the other senator is saying? The only reason that America attacked Iran is because the Israelis told them that Israel is going to attack Iran regardless of whether or not you help us. So you have to help us. The Israeli government decided that America was going to attack Iran, not the American government. The American government did not want to attack Iran, but the Israeli government said, we're doing it regardless of whether you like it or not. So they had to join in. Go play the first video again, because I don't know if everyone understands how weak this is. Can you imagine a day coming where the Israeli government dictates whether or not America attacks another country? America did not decide to make this attack. It was not a decision by America. The Israelis decided to do it, and then America said, well, we have no choice because we can't stop the Israelis from doing it. Play it again.
This is not classified, so I'll tell you what I think is important. Israel was determined to act in their own defense here, with or without American support. Because Israel was determined to act, with or without the U.S., our commander-in-chief and the administration and the officials I just named had a very difficult decision to make. They had to evaluate the threats to the U.S., to our troops, to our installations, to our assets in the region and beyond, and they determined, because of the exquisite intelligence that we had, that if Israel fired upon Iran and took action against Iran to take out the missiles, then they would have immediately retaliated against U.S. personnel and assets.
¿Dónde está mi hijos y hijas? Where are my sons and daughters? Are you telling me that our sons and daughters have to die because the Israeli government refused to listen to America when America told them not to attack Iran? Is that worth the life of your sons and daughters? Do you want the Israeli government deciding whether or not your children die? Because according to the Speaker of the House, the Israeli government was determined to attack Iran regardless of whether or not America wanted them to. So America said, we have to help. Because if the Israelis do it, then Iran will take it out on us. The Israeli government is in control of the United States military. I don't know if there's another way to interpret it. This is not hyperbole. This is factual. This is stating a fact. America did not choose to attack Iran. The Israeli government was going to attack Iran whether America wanted it or not. America simply followed the Israelis into attacking Iran because they couldn't stop the Israelis from doing it. Hey, Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth, you know what you should have done? You should have attacked Israel. That's what you should have done. But the minute the Israeli government said, we're going to attack Iran, even if you don't want us to, then a strong president, a strong secretary of defense would have said, if you attack Iran against our wishes, then America will attack Israel. Then Israel would have been terrified to do it. But Donald Trump is a pussy. He's a pussy. He's a bendejo. He's a maricon. And because of that, he is too afraid of what Benjamin Netanyahu has, which is the Epstein list and the videos of Donald Trump on the Epstein Island. He's too scared of the Israeli government because he should have attacked Israel if Israel was going to put Americans in harm's way by attacking Iran against the wishes of the American government. That's what he would have done if he was a real man. What else do you have?
Of course, Benjamin Netanyahu has been setting this up for a long time.
brothers and sisters out there in the white man's military, let me give you a history lesson on how old this is. Right now, America has been in a 20-year war in Iraq because Benjamin Netanyahu and the Israeli government told America that Iraq had weapons of mass destruction. Here is a video from 2012 of the Israeli government saying that you must attack Iraq. You must attack Iraq. Play it.
This is a bomb. This is a fuse. Iran is now trying to develop nuclear bombs. I think the United States should be very clear in forming an international coalition with Israel, of course. We have to make sure that these single-man regimes do not acquire weapons of mass destruction. The most dangerous of these regimes is Iran. I believe that only the United States can lead this vital international effort to stop the nuclearization of terrorist states. But the deadline for attaining this goal is getting extremely close. Time is running out. By next spring, at most by next summer, they will have finished the medium enrichment and move on to the final stage. From there, it's only a few months, possibly a few weeks, before they get enough enriched uranium for the first bomb. Iran could produce the nuclear detonator maybe under a year, maybe only a few months.
If not stopped, Iran could produce a nuclear weapon in a very short time. It could be a year, it could be within a few months, less than a year.
ושילוב הכוחות הזה מאפשר לנו לעשות את מה שאני מייחל לעשות כבר 40 שנה. להכות את משטר... Now trying to...
This same person, this same government, is the reason that we lost thousands of blacks and Latinos in the Iraqi war. Thousands. Thousands of blacks and Latinos died in the war in Iraq because the Israeli government pushed America into doing it. And now we know how they're pushing them. They're pushing them because they're blackmailing the American government into fighting their wars. They're blackmailing men like Bill Clinton, blackmailing the rich and the powerful donors of the Democratic and the Republican Party into pushing America into war because they blackmail them with their sexual deviance videos. And now they have Donald Trump, who is the king of all sexual deviance. And now this was the time they had to do it, because there would not be a better time and there would never be a bigger pedophile in the White House than right now. And so they took this opportunity to do what they've been trying to do since 1992. And every day they say, well, you have to do it next week. You have to do it this week. If you don't do it this week, they're going to have a nuclear weapon. And you have to do it. Now, Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State, and the Speaker of the House said on the news in a press conference, the reason that they had to attack Iran is because the Israelis were going to do it whether they liked it or not. The Israelis were going to attack them even if America told them not to. So they had to do it. Is that why you send your sons and daughters to the white man's military, to have them ruled over by a foreign government? The Bible says this: blessed is the man that serveth a man who is better than him. Blessed is a man who serves a man who is better than he is. Don't you understand? If you're in the white man's military, serving the white man's military, you are better than the president. You are better than your commanding officer. You have more of a value on life than your generals do. You value human life more than the president, more than your commanding officer. You're serving someone who is not as good a man as you are. You're a better man than him, and yet you're serving him. You're cursed. You're cursed because you serve someone who should be serving you. Now, I have one question. Who told you to join the military? What's his name? Give me the preacher's name. Give me the school teacher's name. Give me the grandmama's name that told you to sign up. That told you it was a good idea. That told you it would make a man out of you. Give me some more videos about them trying to get money when they come home. You have that? Let me give you the future of you brothers and sisters that are now going to die in Iran and die so that white supremacy can rule Iran the way it rules America, so that white Christianity and the Roman belief system can rule in Iran, so that the 7 mountains of Rome can rule in Iran. Play it.
Senator Ron Johnson is facing backlash after blocking a vote on a bill that would help thousands of combat-injured veterans receive full disability pay.
Chloe Morrissey is speaking with veterans about the implications of Johnson's decision.
I did over 20 years of active, reserve, and guard time.
For veterans like Mike Zintek, the fight didn't end when he came home.
All these bad chemical weapons, I got to breathe in that. I got to live in that.
Because of current federal law, Mike and roughly 54,000 other medically retired veterans cannot collect both their full military retirement pay and their full VA disability compensation.
I'm not asking for a welfare check. I'm just asking for my retirement that I was promised when I first joined in 1986.
The Major Richard
Let me give you future veterans, let me give you a prophecy. After you get home from Iran, after you come back to America, missing a leg or missing the good use of your mind, they're going to fight you to pay you anything. They're not going to give you any money. They're not going to want to give you disability. They're not going to want to give you health care. You're going to have to go to court to fight the government to get paid the money that they promised you when you enlisted. How do I know it? Because they always do this. This is what they did to the Iraqi veterans, to the veterans of Afghanistan, because the people in charge of the military are lesser men than the brothers and sisters in the military. They're lesser people. They're not as good a person as the type of man that joins the military. The people that you're following, they're a lesser man than you. So they're not going to want to pay you when you get back. And for those of you veterans out there, some of you veterans, I hope this is a wake-up call to you. Did you see how that veteran said, I'm not looking for welfare. I'm just looking for the money that they promised me when I signed up for the military in 1986. Some of you farmers think the same way. Some of you farmers say, I'm not looking for welfare. I'm just looking for the money that the government promised me. As you're sitting and fighting the government to get money that you work for in the white man's military, I hope that helps you to have more compassion on people who are on welfare, on people who are on food stamps and food assistance. Because you know what? The reason that the white man doesn't want to give out welfare is the same reason that he doesn't want to pay veterans. It's the same thing. See, many of you who are veterans who fight the government, to get your right, to get the pay that you earn. Many of you farmers that fight the government to get subsidies that you believe you deserve. You look down on blacks and Latinos who fight the government to get welfare because you think that you have earned it and they have not. I hope your own poverty and your own struggles with having to fight the government to get money that you deserve, I hope that will teach you a lesson about the poor. The poor are also fighting for money that they have earned. They're also fighting for money that they deserve, except you look at them like they're begging for a handout. You look at them like they don't deserve to get money. They don't deserve to get free health care. They don't deserve to get free school. They don't deserve to get a higher minimum wage. You look down on the poor as you have to fight the government to get VA benefits. You have to fight the government to get money they promised you. Don't you understand? The government is cruel to the veterans and the government is cruel to the poor for the same reason. For the same reason. You thought that they would give you money even though they don't give the poor welfare. You thought that they would give the veterans their VA assistance and they would give the veterans their money even though you didn't want them to give the money, to give welfare benefits to poor people in Memphis, to poor people in Alabama, to poor people in Texas. Now you've learned something. The whole time you were thinking that the poor didn't deserve their money. That's why they weren't getting it. No, the poor aren't getting their money because cruel men are keeping money from them that they deserve. Those same cruel men are going to never pay veterans of the Iranian war. They're never going to give you your money either. Maybe one day you'll realize that your enemy is not poor people in Alabama who don't have health care, who can't afford to go to school, and who can't afford to feed themselves. Maybe the cruel of this world who look just like you. Maybe you'll realize that they're the problem and not the poor. Is there anything else?
Sir.
Please.
Got more on Netanyahu.
Let's go.
Has officially overwhelmed the host. Benjamin Netanyahu suspects that there were contacts between the U.S. and Iran. I quote, Israeli intelligence has obtained information indicating that contacts may be taking place between elements in the Iranian regime and elements in the Trump administration regarding a ceasefire. Israel is concerned about the possibility that the U.S. will act to end the war before achieving all of its goals. So in other words, Israel is spying on us in order to get us to continue to fight their war. There are even reports of them planting mysterious spy devices near the White House. Because God forbid, we might want to do something in our best interests for once. I mean, Marco Rubio straight up admitted it, that we are fighting Israel's war. This is so deeply embarrassing that we have lost total control of a client state that has now gone completely rogue.
Well, that's what happens when you elect a pedophile to control the military. What you should ask yourself is, why did you do something like that? Why did you do something like that? You know why. Because you're a pedophile too. You see, you don't care about morality when you choose a leader, when morality is the most important factor in choosing a leader. And the Christians are the same way. You Christians out there, you're no different than Donald Trump supporters. All of you Black and Latino Christians, you're looking at Donald Trump like, how could you elect a pedophile as president? How could you make a pedophile your preacher? How could you do the same thing? Don't you understand? The Republicans have simply done the exact same thing that the people in Eddie Long's church did. They did the same thing. You did the exact same thing. You're looking at Donald Trump like, how could you elect a pedophile to be president? You elected Eddie Long to be your bishop. You elected T.D. Jakes to be your bishop. You elected 1,000, 1,000,000 sexual deviants to lead your congregation. The Republicans voted for Donald Trump for the same reason. That's all. They did the exact same thing that you Christians do. You Christians don't care about the morality of your leaders. If your leader, what's that guy down there, Jamal Bryant? Jamal Bryant is clearly an LGBT person. You don't care. Eddie Long was clearly an LGBT person. You didn't care. What's the other one? T.D. Jakes, clearly an LGBT. Now I'm naming you the big name preachers, but don't you know that the choir director of virtually every Christian church is a deviant? Every choir director is a deviant. All of them. What I want to ask you is, why did you choose them? You wonder why they chose Donald Trump, even though he was friends with Jeffrey Epstein. Why did you choose that choir director? Why did you choose that bishop? Well, the Republicans did it for the same reason. You see, they put less weight in morality than they did performance. Don't you understand? The Republicans cared about performance. Donald Trump gave an excellent Apprentice TV show performance. Donald Trump made racism look good. He made racism look exciting. He made racism look acceptable. The people that voted for Donald Trump chose performance over morality. Is that strange to you? Why are you surprised? What's that in Espanol? Why are you surprised? Sorprendido. I know that's surprise. Why are you surprised? You chose performance over morality when you chose your choir director, when you chose your bishop, when you chose your preacher. You didn't care that he was a deviant. He sang good. He was a good singer. He gave a good show. Everybody, he praised Jesus' name. You didn't care that he was a child molester. You didn't care that he was a deviant. Christians chose performance over morality. That's what Republicans did too. Why is that a surprise? Sorprendiendo. Why is that a surprise? It shouldn't be. In the Israelite school of UPK, allow us to add, let me see. ¿Por qué estás sorprendiendo? Gracias. ¿Por qué estás sorprendiendo? Why are you surprised? ¿Por qué estás sorprendiendo? Why are you surprised? All the Republicans did what every Christian does. You don't care that your preacher is gay. You don't care that your choir director is a deviant. You don't care about the rumors about what he's done to children. You don't give a damn. You care about the performance. Well, so do Republicans. They care about performance. See, in the Israelite school of UPK, you don't get to rule over men without being the most moral man among them. That's what you'll have to be. You'll have to be better than the men who call you sir and lord. You'll have to be better than them to be their captain, to be their general, to be their officer, or else you'll never be in charge of men who you are not better than. You Americans and you Christians should take a lesson. Is there anything else?
Sir, while Netanyahu's been going to the UN for 30 years to start this war, Trump is sending Melania to the UN to run the Security Council.
I'm glad you brought this up, because this goes into DEI. DEI. As you know, Donald Trump, he destroyed any remembrance of Black and Latino heroes from the United States military, ripped down all of their plaques, took down every remembrance of Black and Latino heroes in the United States military and the sacrifice they made for a country that did not appreciate them. The sacrifices they made for a country that hated them. Well, Donald Trump has destroyed any remembrance of those Black and Latino heroes. Why? Because he believed that it was a DEI activity. He believed it was, people trying to push diversity. And, pushing diversity is wrong. So now we can only give jobs to people that deserve it, to people who have the qualifications to do the job. Well, let me tell you who now is leading this UN Security Council, Melania Trump, who is a whore who was purchased by Donald Trump from Jeffrey Epstein. You go read, who was Biden's son? Hunter Biden wrote a book where he said that Donald Trump met Melania on Epstein Island. That's where he met her, because Melania was a girl purchased by Jeffrey Epstein. And Jeffrey Epstein sold Melania to Donald Trump. Can you look this up, Ephraim? What is look up? Don't tell me what look up. Bescarlo. Mariam, tell me if that's the right phrase for look it up. Buscarlo. Look it up. Mariam will tell me if that's the right phrase. Buscarlo. Melania Trump is a mail order bride that Jeffrey Epstein bought and sold to Donald Trump. Guess what she's doing now? She is leading the UN Security Council. That is who is leading the UN Security Council. Do you see? That's the real DEI in America. You know what the real DEI is? The real DEI is not with Blacks and Latinos, because Blacks and Latinos are better qualified than their white counterparts. Blacks and Latinos are better qualified than their white competitors in every job, in every career path. Blacks and Latinos are better. The real DEI is the government hiring dimwits and bimbos. Bimbos have been receiving the bulk of DEI jobs. A bunch of blonde-haired bimbos who suck and screw their way into the top-level positions in America. And that is what Melania Trump has done. Melania Trump can't even speak English. She's an immigrant. but she sucked the right old man. She opened her legs to the right old white man, and now she is leading the UN Security Council. Do you know the kind of people that have done this in the past? I mean, Rhodes scholars, Oxford graduates, people that are so qualified, who speak 10 languages, who have fought in wars. They are the kind of people who lead the UN Security Council. Who's doing it now? Donald Trump's bimbo, who he bought from Jeffrey Epstein. Play the video.
With the Rule 39 of the Council's Provisional Rules of Procedure, I invite Ms. Rosemary DiCarlo, Undersecretary General of Political and Peacebuilding Affairs, to participate in this meeting. It is so decided.
The bitch can't talk English. Is Melania Trump, did she even graduate from college? I would look that up. Did the bitch even have a high school diploma? She sucked the right penis. That's what she did. You see, that's the real American DEI that no one talks about. Bimbos. White bimbos are the ones who truly profited from the DEI movement. White bimbos are the ones that truly profited from affirmative action. They're the ones that got the real benefits. Bimbos who now could suck the right penis and now get a job that before you'd have to go to Harvard to get. You'd have to be a 4-star general and a Harvard graduate now simply because she sucks that tiny red sick penis. She's sitting in front of the UN Security Council. Does she deserve that job? Has she earned the right to speak in front of the UN Security Council, who decides whether or not countries have nuclear weapons? Jeffrey Epstein bought Melania Trump. He bought her. That's what they're saying.
It's like it, sir.
Please.
She went to college for 1 year in Slovenia and dropped out.
That's the DEI that you should be fighting. Bimbos. Bimbos. That's who's running America. You know who's running America? Rich men who cannot get sex from a woman unless they pay her or give her a promotion. That's who's running America. Man, Donald Trump could never get sex from a woman unless he paid them. He could never get sex from a woman unless he gave her a promotion. He's in charge, and so because he's in charge, now the entire government is run by mail order bride bimbos like Melania Trump. You don't believe me? You don't believe me? This bitch went to school for 1 year in Slovenia. Is that even a real country? Isn't that where what's that man that came? That's so nice. What's that comedian?
Oh,
with the mustache.
From,
Very nice, huh?
Yeah, trying to remember the name.
I forget his name. I don't think Slovenia is a real country, huh? I think that's a made-up place. I don't think that's even a real country. She went to college for 1 year. She used to dance. She was a stripper.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not making I'm stating a fact. This was a stripper, a nude model. I've seen her naked ass. It was not impressive. It was not a turn on. It was naked and flat and disgusting like a skeleton. And I've seen her naked body on the internet. I remember it. She's a stripper and a whore who Jeffrey Epstein introduced to Donald Trump. She had 1 year of school in Slovakia, a made-up country, not even a real country. She's sitting before the UN Security Council. She's a DEI hierarch, her. That is who is using DEI. Sluts and bimbos. Give me the other slut and bimbo of today.
Khan.
This happened today. As I'm preparing for class today. Now, this is Kristi Noem. Now, Kristi Noem was the head of Homeland Security, which means she is the one in charge of ICE agents. So every ICE agent that you've seen in America, in Wisconsin, in California, in New York, who murdered 2 people on the streets of Wisconsin. Was it Wisconsin? Yeah, Milwaukee. The ICE agents who murdered 2 people on the streets of Wisconsin. ICE agents who have been brutalizing the chosen people of God in America, the Latino people. This is their boss. This woman right here. Now listen to what they asked her at a senatorial hearing. Go play.
Time during your tenure as Director of Department of Homeland Security, have you had sexual relations with Corey Lewandowski?
Mr. Chairman, I am shocked that we're going down and peddling tabloid garbage in this committee today.
Reclaiming
and
my
ma'am,
time.
one thing that I would tell you is that he is a special government employee who works for the White House. There are thousands of them in the federal government.
So reclaiming
and
my
is an
time,
advisor
Secretary, it is
and has
okay for
no,
you to be
no
offended
authority
by
to
the
be
question.
making any
It is
decisions.
okay for you to
has
be
no
offended
authority
by the
to
question.
be making
But it is
decisions
also
and
a
putting
real
up your
question.
position. So what I would say
And
to
you
you
should be able to
is
answer
that
the
what we do
question
at the Department of Homeland
clearly
Security every single
and without
day,
any hesitation.
every single day is to protect
if
this
someone
country
is
and
asking
to make
if
decisions.
you or any federal official is sleeping with their subordinate, that should be the easiest. You should be wanting to answer that question.
Is garbage?
Because it is not about
It is
your sex
offensive
life.
that you have brought
It is
that up.
about your
So
judgment.
that kind of garbage
It is
has been
about
refuted
reclaiming
for
my
years,
time so
and
that
you
I
need
can
to
hear myself.
Well, brothers and sisters, she didn't answer that question. Another senator asked her it again. She refused to answer the question. Why? Because she's a bimbo. She's a whore. And that's how she got her job. Now, you remember that when they're telling you you have to get a master's degree and a doctorate, and then they'll tell you we're still not going to hire you because we don't believe in DEI. They have no problem with DEI as long as you'll suck their penis. That's what you have to do. This woman, and let me tell you, you see that man right behind her, Ephraim?
Sir.
That's her husband.
Ooh.
That's her husband, right standing behind her, sitting right behind her right there.
Damn.
And all of Capitol Hill knows that she sucked and screwed her way into the job of being Director of Homeland Security. Now, there is a ICE agent dragging you out of your car and beating your grandmother up, and that is their boss. This woman here who sucked and screwed her way into her position. You see, the DEI, the people who benefit from DEI are not blacks and Latinos. It's white bimbos like Corey Nome, whatever her name is, Kristen Nome. And guess what happened today? Because of this senatorial hearing, she got fired today, right before class. She got fired today. She got fired because, my God, did I send you the commercial that she filmed out?
Sir.
Jesus Christ. You can look this up. Let me tell you what got her fired. It did not get her fired that she was sucking everybody's penis to make it a job. That got her job. That didn't get her fired. Kristen Nome, you can look this up. She filmed, give me a picture of it, a still shot. She filmed a commercial with her being a plumber, with her being a cowgirl.
Yes, sir.
She was like a cowgirl in Wyoming on a horse. She filmed a commercial showing everybody the different jobs that you could do in Colorado or Wyoming or wherever she's from. And the Senate asked her, how much did this commercial cost? She didn't know. The commercial cost $230 million. $230 million to film this commercial. And the company that got the $230 million did not exist until 8 days before they filmed the commercial. And the people that own the company, her brother-in-law, her sister-in-law, somebody married to one of her cousins. The company didn't exist until 8 days before they filmed the commercial. They got $230 million. Go ahead and play it. After this, give me her replacement, please, Ephraim. Is
Colonel,
there sound? Is there sound?
I think it's just the still shot.
That's the stupid shit that cost $230 million right there. That's it. This bimbo sitting on a horse. That's it. This bimbo sitting on a horse, being the most pretty, what's the pageants them hoes have to be beauty queens? A beauty pageant, right?
Colonel.
That's what this hoe wanted. This is just a beauty pageant where she gets to put on makeup and put on fake hair and put on a pretty cowboy hat, and she cost the taxpayers $230 million and gave it to her friends. Her friends filmed the goddamn commercial on her friends with taxpayer dollars. And you're complaining about black pilots and Latino pilots and Latinos in the military and Latinos in corporate positions? You give a fucking bimbo $230 million to do a beauty pageant in her own name? Listen, this is the DEI you white men should be fighting, because no one else is profiting from DEI but white women. That's it. Black people are fighting and clawing tooth and nail to get every dollar that they deserve. And they're not getting every dollar that they deserve. They're fighting to get it. Blacks and Latinos are going to college, getting gigantic student loans to fight for positions, to fight for promotions against white women who are not qualified. So the jobs that blacks and Latinos get, we earn those jobs, and we're not getting the job that we truly have earned. Now, Kristi Noem was director of Homeland Security because she sucked the right advisor to Donald Trump. Well, she got fired. This is her replacement, which once again gives you another key on who Donald Trump hires. There's a theme developing here, Ephraim. This is Kristi Noem's replacement. He replaced her today as director of Homeland Security. Let's see what kind of man he is.
So they clowned it in the comments. Josh Yard said I could have made that on TikTok. Captain Gunn said, "Is that a green screen?" Officer Kazak Ahmad said, "I could have filmed that for $19 and a beer."
Yeah, but you couldn't have sucked Donald Trump's penis, and that's the only way you get that job. That's what you have to understand. Sucking Donald Trump's penis is the only way you get that job. You don't get that job because of your talent or your gifts or your effort or your zeal. These white women are getting these jobs because they suck the right penis on Capitol Hill. They're bimbos. Go ahead and play it. This is Kristi Noem's replacement. Go ahead.
The Tough Guy Act and these Senate hearings. You know where to find me. Any place, anytime, cowboy. Sir, this is a time, this is a place. If you want to run your mouth, we can be two consenting adults. We can finish it here.
Okay, that's fine. Perfect.
You want to do it now?
I'd love to do it right now.
Well, stand your butt up then.
You stand your butt up.
Oh, hold on.
Big guy.
Oh, stop it.
Is that your
All right.
solution, everybody?
No, sit down. Sit down.
Okay.
You know, you're a United States Senator. Sit down.
Active.
Oh, okay.
Sit down, please.
All right.
Can I respond? Mr.
Hold
Chairman?
it. Hold it. If
Hold
we
on.
can't, no, I have.
Kristi Noem's replacement is yet another small penised white man that has to act like a tough guy because his penis is so insignificant that it gives him so much insecurity. That is Kristi Noem's replacement, a United States senator that challenged someone who came to appear before the Senate to have a fist fight. He's a United States senator. Well, he's now in charge of Homeland Security. He's in charge right now, tonight. Donald Trump chose him to lead Homeland Security because that is who is in charge of the government. White men who could never get a woman unless they pay her. They could never do it because a white man's penis is a laughable joke. It's a joke. And he walks around all day feeling like he's not a man when he sees blacks and Latinos at work. That's why he doesn't want to give you a job. He doesn't want you at work because he doesn't feel like a man in your presence. And when black and Latino women work at a workforce, white women feel dumb next to you. That's what they'll never tell you, black women, you Latino women. But I believe you black women and Latino women, you know that. When black and Latino women work on the workforce, work at any job, you make white women feel stupid. White women feel like they're not smart when they have to have a conversation, or imagine there's a crisis at Homeland Security and there's a Latino woman that works there. Imagine there's a crisis at some corporation and there's a black woman that works there. When that crisis happens, black women click on, Latino women click on like, and they start to handle a crisis at work, brother. They handle it. That white bimbo was standing there looking at you thinking, I wish she didn't work here. I got this job because I had sex with the supervisor. I had sex with the CEO. This black woman, she earned her right to be here. If it wasn't for racism, the black woman would be the CEO. If it wasn't for racism, the Latino woman would be the CEO. The only reason she's not the CEO is because of oppression and racism. Now imagine a crisis that happens on any job. Black and Latino women take over and they solve that problem. Don't you know how you've been making a white bimbo feel for all these years? You've been making her feel like she's an idiot. They couldn't have that. They had to get rid of you. They had to tear down any memory of you working on these jobs. Tear down all of your accomplishments on these jobs. Why? Because small penis white men and big stupid headed bimbos now run the country. Everybody understand? Is there anything else?
Sir. Here's Hunter Biden.
Oh, go ahead and play it. Can't hear.
Oh, Salaki, sir.
Of Channel 5's video called Hunter Biden Returns, in which Mr. Biden here makes some speculative comments about the relationship between Jeffrey Epstein, Melania Trump, and Donald Trump.
Okay, well, they knew each other well. They spent an enormous time together. According to his biographer, is that Jeffrey Epstein introduced Melania. That's how Melania and the First Lady and the President met.
Really?
Yeah.
Epstein made the intro.
Yeah, according to Michael Wolff.
Yeah.
And so I only can go by what people are saying, and I don't know.
He didn't make these claims out of nowhere.
Well, Melania just led the UN Security Council this week out. You understand, Ephraim?
Sir. Yes,
she
sir.
led the UN Security Council this week. And now is DEI the problem with blacks and Latinos? Oh, no. You better look at some of these bimbos you have in the White House. Melania Trump is a whore. You could have paid for Melania Trump when she came from Slovakia. You could have bought her. She's a whore. Anything else?
Sir.
That's all we had to go over tonight?
Let's see. We got a few more clips.
Let me know. Where's Cross the Line? They want me to end it now, so I will.
Whenever you're ready, sir.
The Sister Nadia sent me the commercial right here. Do we have the commercial? Sister Nadia, I think they have the commercial already. I think so. Sister Nadia out of Nashville. She saw the horror video about Christy Nome. Is there anything else?
No. The bloodlust of white men will never be satisfied, even at the cost of other white men. See, you see, white MAGA specifically gets so excited over here in the U.S. when immigrant families get kidnapped, killed, put in concentration camps. You see it every time a black man, woman, or child gets murdered by the cops. You saw it with Alex Peretti and Renee Good. And now we're over in Iran, killing children in schools. And you see all of these white men cheering, right? Show love and care in your communities and not be fucking violent. But that is antithetical to the programming of the white collective.
Well said, white man. I mean, I think Commander General Yohana has been teaching this, since 1969. I think every week we come on these classes and tell you the real reason that ICE agents are attacking blacks and Latinos, that the police have been killing us for years. It is a lust inside of white people that enjoys it. And let me tell you something. Now that America is in another war, you are going to see white people that otherwise would be angry with America, be angry with Donald Trump. They're going to begin to love him because Donald Trump is killing people. You're going to hear it in the language of the Defense Department when they talk about how we had Iranians and we took them out. We took out the Iranians. We killed them. We took them out. Listen to white people from the government talk. They're not talking to you and I. They're talking to the bloodlust in white people. And that bloodlust is so excited that there is another war, that there are more people we're killing. And they're going to forgive Donald Trump for being a pedophile. They'll forgive him for it because Donald Trump is allowing them to vicariously through the military, even though they're not in the military. They never joined the military. Donald Trump is a 5-time draft dodger. He's never joined the military. But white people who get to sit at home and to live through the military, to experience the killing through the TV, through the internet, they'll forgive Donald Trump for the Epstein list, as long as Donald Trump is killing someone. And that's why every day on the news, they'll say, we're replacing that government. We're taking them out. We're killing them. They tried to kill Donald Trump. Now they're dead. We killed their government. They are exciting the lust in their constituency. They're exciting them, and it always works. Let me explain something to you that that bloodlust cures. There was a thing called Vietnam syndrome, all right? There was a thing at the end of the Vietnamese War. Get this together, please, Ephraim.
Come on.
At the end of the Vietnamese War, I'm sorry, they didn't call it a war. They called it a police action. Many of you don't know, your fathers, a lot of your fathers died in Vietnam, or your grandfather died in Vietnam or came home from Vietnam with a terrible heroin addict, as a heroin addict. Or he came home from Vietnam and he was never the same. Your grandfather. The Vietnam War was not a war. It was a police action. The same way they're saying that the Iranian war is not a war. Don't call it that, because Congress has to name something a war. So they didn't call the Vietnam War a war. They called it a police action. But at the end of the Vietnamese War, there was something that politicians named Vietnam Syndrome. Vietnam Syndrome. Do you have what Vietnam Syndrome is?
Vietnam Syndrome is a term in U.S. politics that refers to public reluctance to American military intervention overseas following the controversy and failure of the Vietnam War.
You see, America lost the Vietnam War. They lost. America was defeated by tiny 4-foot-tall Vietnamese people who survived on rice. That's it. They ate bowls of rice and they dug tunnels and they defeated America in the Vietnamese War. At the end of that, those bodies kept coming home. Those planes kept unloading American bodies. And the people in America said, we're not doing this anymore. Give me some of the protests that happened in Vietnam. There were countless protests after Vietnam. People hated it. Men like John Kerry, who later became Secretary of State. He was a protester who was a war hero in Vietnam. And when he came home from Vietnam, he took his medals and threw them in the Potomac River. And he's testified before Congress that he wished he never went there because he saw American soldiers commit atrocities in Vietnam, raping Vietnamese women, killing innocent Vietnamese citizens. He saw so many atrocities committed by his own country that he threw his own medals in the river. in the Potomac River. And he testified before Congress. His name was John Kerry. He later became Barack Obama's Secretary of State. Well, I want the picture I sent you about we won't fight a rich man's war. The still shots, if you could, all right. Well, there were countless protests. These protests led to the hastening of America leaving Vietnam. Well, at the end of the Vietnamese War, the American people said, no more foreign wars. We're not going to fight any more foreign wars simply for rich men to get more rich. Because later on, they found out that really the Vietnamese War was just about money. It was just about money. It was about, farmers and American industries who wanted to take over that part of the world to grow goods and to control the farming industry in Vietnam. And that's the whole purpose for the war. You have the still shots, Ephraim?
Okay.
And that was the whole purpose of the war. So there were countless protests in America. There was a woman who set herself on fire outside of the window of the White House. She doused herself in gasoline and set herself on fire right outside of Lyndon Johnson's window in the White House. It was a terrible time. Here's one of the protests right here. What does that sign say? Can you make it bigger?
Come on, sir.
Or just read it to me. Either one is fine.
Because we won't fight another rich man's war.
This was a giant protest. The people in this protest are soldiers who came home from Vietnam. They came home. All of these men are soldiers who are veterans of the Vietnamese War. They came home and they said, we won't fight another rich man's war. They said that in 1969. That's when they said this. They were sick of it. They were sick of going over to some foreign land and dying for nothing. It wasn't like World War II where you could fight to stop the Nazis from invading other countries and for committing the so-called Holocaust. It wasn't like that. It wasn't like World War I. This was simply a war of choice to make rich men rich, to make rich men richer. They had protests and they said, we will not fight another rich man's war. But they did. They fought the Iraqi war, which was a war of choice to make rich men richer. They fought the Afghanistan war, which was a war of choice to make rich men richer. And guess what? The Taliban is in charge of Afghanistan right now tonight. The same people that your uncles and your cousins fought in the Afghanistan war, they're the government in Afghanistan tonight. Right now. Why? Because you did fight another rich man's war. You did. You fought a 20-year war in Iraq because you thought they had weapons of mass destruction because the Israelis told you they did, and the Iraqis did not have weapons of mass destruction. The Iraqis were no threat to America, but America, meaning Hillary Clinton and the Clintons and Ronald Reagan, they always wanted to take over Iraq for money. And you did fight another rich man's war. I'm going to explain to you why. Now you're fighting a war in Iran, another rich man's war. You're fighting it again. I'm going to explain to you why the Vietnam syndrome ended, why you were cured from the Vietnam syndrome. The Vietnam syndrome is a syndrome where the American people are hesitant and reluctant to fight any more foreign wars. You've fought in about 4 more foreign wars for 30 years since then. Why? Why were you cured from this sickness? I will explain now. Ronald Reagan is the one that cured you. Ronald Reagan, when he became president, he had meetings and meetings with psychiatrists and meetings with, chief witches and people that understood the minds of the people and how to manipulate people. And they came up with a cure for Vietnam syndrome. Now you can give me that. And if you could understand this, then you'll understand why America fought the Iraqi war, the Afghanistan war, and now they're fighting the Iranian war after they learned the lessons of the Vietnam War. Those lessons didn't stick. The Vietnam syndrome didn't stick. If the Vietnam syndrome would have stuck, then your friends and your loved ones would not have died in Iraq and in Afghanistan, and your friends would not have died in Iran, which they're about to die in Iran. Do you have the cure for Vietnam syndrome?
Slacky, sir.
It's a screenshot, I believe.
Can't.
The brother will get it. Am I missing any questions while we're waiting? If you need me to resend it to you, let me know. Here it is. So, why did America fight 4 more and counting wars after the Vietnam War when the American public didn't want to fight any more foreign wars? Here's what America did to seduce you. Go ahead and read it. I can't see it well.
Kind, sir. Key actions to combat Vietnam syndrome.
You hear that? Get again?
Key actions to combat Vietnam syndrome.
You see, America wanted you to support more wars. And they knew after Vietnam, you didn't want to support more wars. So they took action to convince the American people to support more unnecessary wars. This is what they did. Go ahead.
Rhetorical shift. Reagan actively worked to change the narrative of the Vietnam War from a mistake to a noble cause and a necessary fight against communism.
You see that? It was a rhetorical shift. So instead, when they talk about Vietnam, they don't talk about it like it's a mistake. How do they speak about it again? Read that word again. Read that phrase again.
From a mistake to a noble cause.
To a what?
To a noble cause.
To a what?
To a noble cause.
Let me explain to you why you've gotten in so many wars. Because you listen to politicians that make military service noble. That's why they do that. That's why there's a flag in every church. There's a flag right there in the corner. That's why whenever anyone talks about the military, they say, thank you for your service. They say, our heroes that died in Vietnam. Always honor the military. You see, when you honor the military, you think that you're honoring the soldier. You're not. You are paving the way for more wars. That's why they want you to thank them for their service. There are heroes. That's why jets fly over every NFL game. That's why every sporting event has a military part where everyone stands up and salutes the flag. And we salute our fallen heroes. Every member of the military is a hero. You think you're honoring the dead in your military. What you're really doing is making sure we fight more wars. That's why they do that. They want you to honor the military because in honoring the military, you will create more people to honor. In honoring the heroes, you're going to go make more heroes. This is it. I didn't create this. This is in this. You can best buscarlo. Buscarlo. Look it up. This is the cure to combat Vietnam syndrome. Change the rhetoric. Don't make it a mistake. Honor them. Honor the people that lost their lives. It was a necessary sacrifice. That's what our military does. They make sacrifices. You know what our military does? They fight for our rights. I've never understood how somebody goes to Iraq to fight for me. I don't get that. Listen, I hear them say it. Well, you see, they're overseas fighting for your rights in America. How in the fuck is they doing that in Iraq? I don't understand it. The ICE agents, I need you to fight these ICE agents. Can you fight them? Because the police are the ones beating me to death. The brother Ephraim had a video where a brother went, let me tell you what I need your help with. You military people out there, don't fight for me in Iraq. Don't fight for me in Iran. Fight for me in New York. Fight for me in Memphis. Fight for me in Los Angeles. I do need somebody to fight for me, but I don't need you to fight for me in Afghanistan or Iran. Fight for me in America. That's what I need. Let me give you a story to explain my point. Give me what happened to a white man when he drove down the block. Well, first tell me what happened, Ephraim, about the story. Ephraim has a story of a black man. Now, this city agency gave a black police officer a driver's license, and had him drive to do a study to see if black people are pulled over by the police more than white people. This black man got behind the wheel of a car. He couldn't get out the goddamn parking lot before a cop pulled him over. And he was a cop. He was a cop who obeyed all of the traffic laws because this was a test. This was a test to see if it was true that black people are pulled over more by the police than white people. So they got a black cop, and he obeyed all of the traffic laws, every last one. And he wrote it down, and it was videotaped. The brother couldn't get around the corner before the cops pulled him over in Connecticut. He could not get around the corner before the police were following him, and he was obeying every traffic law because it was a test to see if cops would pull him over, even though he obeyed the traffic laws. This is an actual test. Buscarlo. Now,
sir.
Give me the other video.
Come on.
Meanwhile, license plate tabs. These are mine from a year ago when I decided to start an experiment to see how long I, as a white dude, could drive around without them and not get pulled over. Last year, working all the way across town 5 days a week, driving through 4 or 5 different police jurisdictions, I was never stopped or questioned once. But please do keep telling us that there's no racial or class bias in policing. I bet if I started riding my bike around with a gun on me, nobody would call. But in the past couple of years, GRPD has killed on 2 out of 3 calls for simply being black and having a firearm, supposedly, where that in itself is not illegal.
They're trying to convince you that racism doesn't exist. Meanwhile, this white man has been breaking the law for over a year and is yet to get pulled over by police. But if you're a black man following the law, you can still get pulled over and die. Racism.
Give him a hand. Who is this brother here out of ISUPK, Killeen, Texas? Well done, well done. Yeah. If you're a black man carrying a gun, which is legal to carry a gun, you're going to get killed by the police. If you're a white man driving around with no goddamn license plate, you'll drive around for a year and no one will say any goddamn thing to you, or no license tags on your car. No one will say anything to you because you're white. Let me break you out of, let me get you back into the Vietnam syndrome. You need the Vietnam syndrome. It's good for you. Let me explain something to you. Soldiers who fight in Iraq, soldiers who fight in Iran are not fighting for America. They're not. They're not doing it for us. They're not fighting for American freedom. If you are fighting in Afghanistan or Iran, you are not fighting for the freedom of American citizens. You're not. You're fighting for rich men. You're fighting for rich people. And until we break out of that witchcraft, we're going to get involved in more wars. As long as we deify and glorify people that fight overseas, we're going to fight in more overseas wars. It is what they did to seduce you out of the Vietnam syndrome. Go back to the list.
Come. Military buildup. He initiated a massive defense buildup totaling nearly $1 trillion to modernize forces and boost confidence that the U.S. was standing tall again.
The U.S. was what? The U.S. was what?
Tall again.
The U.S. was what?
Standing tall again.
Let me tell you what else they did to counter the Vietnam syndrome. They made the budget of the United States military greater than 10 of the top countries combined. That is how big the United States budget is. The United States military budget is. Why? Because white men love to hear about how much money is spent on the military. There's something that will never get cut in Congress. You can never become president, never become a congressman by saying we will cut the budget of the military. Never. Because the military budget has to always get increased. Why? Because it makes white men feel strong. We're standing tall again. We're giving money. I support the military. Always give them. Why does the military have to have so much money? You have 10 times the money of Great Britain's military, of the military of Germany, of the military of France. Why can't you just have 5 times the money of every other military? Why won't that suffice? What are all these jets for? For fighting people on camels? Your enemies are on camels. Who did you fight in Afghanistan? People, sheep herders who rode camels. That's why you need this jet that cost $1 trillion for one jet. You know why you need to spend that money on the military? So white men can feel strong. Feel like, oh, look at these jets we have. Look at these tanks. What do you need that for? Your enemy is digging a hole in the sand. Why do you need that? Couldn't we use some of that money for poor people? Couldn't we use some of the military money to make life better for American citizens? But we can't do that. And you feel like you're strong and tough. Can't do that. What's his name again?
Officer Yahaya.
Officer Yahaya. Excellent video. Well done and well said. Bien dicho, bien hecho for that brother's video. Yeah, white men have to, spend all the money they have on guns because it makes them feel like they're tough guys. Why? Because this combats the Vietnam syndrome. And if you had the Vietnam syndrome, you would be reluctant to fight in wars for rich men overseas. Continue.
Decisive interventions. The 1983 invasion of Grenada was specifically used to demonstrate a swift, successful, and low casualty operation aimed at reversing the perception of American weakness.
This one should make all of you angry. This should make you angry if you fought in Grenada. There was a war that the United States had in Grenada where they just went in and just killed everybody in Grenada. What was that one when they went in to fight that cat for drugs? Oh man, in Nicaragua. Is that it? It was a few other countries. What was a few other wars that they fought in Bosnia? They fought a war in Bosnia. They got rid of this little drug dealer brother in Nicaragua. They fought little tiny wars. You thought that they fought those wars because they were necessary. Do you know what this is saying? This is saying that America just fought a war just to have a good victory. They just fought somebody that was small so they could beat him, kill him, and no one get hurt. Just so you could start to feel better about foreign war. I'm going to read it one more time. And then if you understand this, this is truly make you angry. If you risk your lives in fighting in Grenada or fighting in Bosnia or fighting in Nicaragua, the only reason they did that war is because they knew it would be easy. And they knew that Americans would get to feel a win. Get to feel like, yeah, we kicked their ass. We kicked their ass over there in Bosnia and Nicaragua. We kicked their ass. Yeah, let's do it again. Let's kick some more ass in the Middle East. Read it one more time.
Decisive interventions. The 1983 invasion of Grenada was specifically used to demonstrate a swift, successful, and low casualty operation.
Stop right there. The war in where again?
Grenada.
The war in Grenada was specifically used to demonstrate an easy victory. Noriega, that's correct. That's it. The war when they went over there and kidnapped Noriega, the war when they went over there and went to Bosnia, those wars were specifically done just to make you feel good about going to war. What happened right before the Iranian war, Ephraim? Come on.
Venezuela.
Say again, Ephraim.
Venezuela.
Say it again, Ephraim.
Venezuela.
Right before the Iranian war, America went over there and they took out Maduro. Took him out. Oh, it was such a victory. Didn't it make all you white men, your little penises get hard, didn't it? When you heard about Maduro getting taken out, he got taken out. Didn't it make you white people feel good?
Hmm.
You feel all happy about it. And you feel all strong. You felt that, right? They did that because they knew that the Israelis were going to order Donald Trump to invade Iran next. So now you feel good about war. You feel all good and tingly about it. They invaded Venezuela just to make you feel good. Just to do it. And this is fact. This is not me just talking. This is in the program to break you out of the Vietnam syndrome. Quick, decisive, small war, specifically designed to make you feel good, to make you love war, to activate your thirst for blood so that they can get you into a bigger war, a deeper war that makes them money. Continue.
Support for military and veterans.
Read that again. Read that again.
For military and veterans.
Read it again.
Support for military and veterans.
How did they convince America to get involved in more foreign wars? Again?
Support for military and veterans.
Keep going.
Reagan focused on restoring military morale by raising pay, encouraging the wearing. It's like I said, cut off.
It's all right. I can see it if you need me.
Let me see if I can pull it up on the side.
Or something while we're waiting if you need to. I can fast forward for you.
Okay.
I'm sorry. You need? Can you ready for me to go?
Nah, sir. Go ahead.
The whole reason that they support veterans in the military is to make the American public susceptible and acceptable to more wars. If you love America, if you love the military, you have to stop glorifying veterans. You have to stop doing it. You cannot glorify people that fight in American wars. You cannot glorify people in the military. You are being used by rich men to fight more wars. That is the reason that they glorify people in uniform. That's why they glorify people with valor. That's why they praise them. That's why whenever you find out someone is in the white man's military, you have to give them respect. You should not give people respect simply because they have fought in wars for America. If you keep doing it, America is going to send more of your children to war. That's what they're doing. They're using that. Every time you stand up to salute the flag, and this is what they say now. They say, now stand up to salute our veterans, to salute our soldiers, to give honor to them that made the biggest sacrifice. If you love those soldiers, you would never honor them. Never. If you love those soldiers, you would never stand up for them. You would never glorify them because rich white people are using your praise for soldiers to send more soldiers to die in the Middle East. It's a plot. It's a plot. Don't respect him. If he fought for the white man's military, that's on him. I don't care. I'm not going to praise him. I'm not going to thank him for his service. I'm not going to treat him like he's some hero, because if I do, then they're going to go and send more of our sons and daughters to die so they can be heroes too, so they can be praised too, unless they're Black or Latino. In that case, they will get no praise and get no honor at all. They'll be forgotten. But we will remember the white heroes. Don't praise the white heroes. Don't stand up in their honor. Don't thank them for their service. If you would stop glorifying soldiers who fight in wars in America, America would stop fighting wars. I pray you understand.
Come on.
Is there anything else, Ephraim?
Wow, sir.
With that, let me say gracias por tu servicio, Ephraim, out of headquarters, New York. Gracias, carnal, hermano. Gracias to Pittsburgh out there. Chicago. Nosotros somos la Escuela Israelita de Conocimiento Práctico Universal. Comenzamos en 1 Oeste Calle 125, Harlem, Nueva York, desde 1969, debajo del mando del general Yahana. Carnales, esta es la verdad. Si tú eres hombres, hispanos, negros, indios, nativos, tú eres Israel, el pueblo elegido de Dios. Tu madre y tu padre dicen que somos un culto y mantienen su iglesia sin culpa, pero su iglesia es culpable de todo lo que nos están pensando. Órale. Tuwada, Pittsburgh, Tuwada, thank you, brother. Tuwada, Montreal, merci. Merci, Montreal.
Well, sir.
You want to say anything, Montreal?
Kawakan, I would have said, Tuwada for the class and Barakataya Wawashai. I said, pour commandant général Yana et tous nos généraux, nos capitaines et nos officiers. Barakataya Wawashai for Commandant John Yahana, all the men above us, all our generals, our captains, officers, troopers, and let's not forget the sisters as well. I'd want Salakia.
That was French. That was outstanding. That is an excellent language. You got it down. The water. Give him a hand. Well done. The water for saying that to the brothers and sisters out there who speak primarily French. You can get this truth in any language, brother. Commanding General Yahana has made it so. If you need someone to honor, then we have soldiers in the UPK to honor. And honoring soldiers in the UPK creates peace, not war. Honoring the white man's soldiers just creates more war. That's all it does. The water too, Chi-Town, Chicago. Good to see you out there. Did you want to say anything, Chi-Town? Pittsburgh, you good to go? Harlem, New York, anything at all?
Sir, the water.
The water. I'll see you next week in Jersey City. What's the address again?
89 Monticello Avenue.
89 Monticello Avenue, Jersey City, New Jersey. I'll see you out there, brother. Kwame Yashala.
Pass the class to Priest Officer Hazahab.
With that, can you hear me? Mic check. With that, Amajim, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher. Amajim Shabbat. Amajim. Hurrah. How about Shimon Shah?
How about Shimon Shah Barakatam?
Karukan. We're going to start and give a courtesy salute to the sisters. Sar. Amajim Shabbat. Amajim. Barak. How is the Yajamata, Classroom Smith.